So I believe after the fight, Racia, your leg was pretty badly injured.
Yes. Yeah, I'm
All
not
right,
doing too
guys.
good.
Okay, so what do you guys want to do? It's over to you guys.
Are all the dogs gone at this point? I think they have all been dispatched, yes?
They have, yes.
Excellent, okay. And it's pretty late at night.
Right, because y'all would basically settle down
Right.
to rest. And then
We
they
are
showed
tired. Radovan, you were the only one who got any sleep.
Yes, but I did do a lot of manual labor the day before, so my sleep was justified.
Excuses.
But how are you doing? I mean, I do say this quite nonchalantly, like it's not a big deal, you know.
Yes. I'm hurting. I'm wincing. I am hobbling. My leg has I have an ankle injury and a thigh injury. Probably rabies.
Oh boy.
Oh no! So I guess I have to heal you, right? I mean, that's kind of my obligation.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Radovan, that would be nice.
Well, the horse is pretty banged up. How are you, Kia?
Not a scratch. I was not hurt because I dodged and ducked and killed 2 dogs, and I was awesome. So you don't have to heal me.
All right. Well, I'll go straight to healing our dear rogue, because she does seem to need it.
I do.
Alrighty. So you are going to use what healing are you going to use?
Plus my healing's at +4.
So you're going to do first aid, or are you going to use a cure light wound spell, considering how badly injured she is?
I guess I'll heal her as much as possible, right? So I'll cure light wounds. Right? No, I'll do my regular heal. I'm a little indecisive.
How much? Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
how
what I'm
much
gonna
do you really want to help Raisa?
I do want to help her because she was in that and she deserves to be healed. So. Gore, that's what I'll do. My regular heal, my main one.
Alrighty.
I have a comment that's not related to the game that I think the title is off.
I think that's because y'all.
It says reroll recap.
Oh,
I don't know. It says it.
Not on mine.
It says it. It doesn't.
You just gotta refresh. Just refresh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Thanks.
Yeah, I'd already changed it.
Phew.
Remember, you guys were here already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. So
cool.
Once again, what was you going to do, Radovan?
My main heal, the big one.
Okay, so 1d8 plus 1 for your heal. Let's see how many hit points you can restore to Racia.
All right. Here we go.
Heal me.
Okay,
right.
5, which I think
that's-
that pretty much
that's
puts
good
you
enough.
close to fully healed. Is that
All right.
So yeah, okay. So Racia, yeah, your leg feels remarkably healthy and better compared to what it did as the healing wave of magic flows from St. Cuthbert through his disciple Radovan and across your leg. So you are feeling so much better.
All right.
Alrighty.
Now, I guess I'll do the horse, right? You know, we need to get the show on the road.
We do.
Okay.
really
Yep.
need to
Kinda
have
hard
that
to
horse.
get our wares there without him. So.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so you want to do the same kind of thing on him?
I'll do the cure light wounds on him.
Okay, so 1d8 plus 1.
Right. Righto.
Oh, look at that look. He cares more about the horse than he does Racia.
That's kind of true.
Apparently St. Cuthbert has a fondness for
That's kind of
horses.
true.
Yeah. It's
You know,
good. It's great though.
This might actually be St. Cuthbert telling you that maybe you should adjust your ways a little bit, Racia. Who knows? Might be a divine providence going on here. All right, guys. So you're rested up. You're healed. Do you want to finish out the night and rest, or are you now all distracted? And of course, I think Kia is going to need a good night's rest to be able to
Definitely.
meditate in the morning to get her spells back.
Well, didn't I take first watch? So,
yes.
Kia, did you get any sleep at all?
I got barely any. I had nightmares, and so I wasn't able to.
See, I haven't
sleep
even
too well.
taken a sleep break yet, so I need to sleep.
So I think that Perhaps Radovan should take this next watch so we can sleep.
Right.
Fine.
Okay.
Fine. That's what I'll do. And in the meantime, I'll do a little minor heal on my own shoulder because that was wounded as well.
All right. You're gonna do like one of your one pointers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. No, you're a big strapping tough guy. You can handle a little bit of
It's just a little bite.
Tis but a scratch.
It's nothing really.
Alrighty.
All right, ladies, go to sleep. I'll make sure you don't die. Maybe.
You better.
You'll be fine. Hey, the horse will live, so that means you'll live. It's by proxy, you know?
Okay.
Right, there you go. Well, you know,
Thank you, Radovan.
the horse will allow you to get somewhere safer anyway.
All
right,
I'm
guys.
gonna go where I was previously, kind of hidden, and on top. I think it was next to a bush or a tree next
Right.
to the pond there, and put my head on a nice rock and go to sleep.
Alrighty. So you're going to get some rest. And what about you, Racia?
I'm gonna be sleeping in the tree, kind of like Katniss style. Anybody seen? Tie myself
okay.
to the tree with my lovely rope so I don't
Yeah,
fall
yeah.
out. And I'll be sleeping, like, kind of sitting up in tied, sleeping, hidden in the tree.
You know,
Alrighty.
the back of the cart is actually quite comfortable, but just saying.
I don't trust you, human.
Okay. Fine. Okay. All right.
Well,
Go to
everyone,
sleep then.
Thank you for the follow. Alrighty. So Radovan, you're going to keep watch. Ladies, you're going to do the absolute best that you can to chill out. You're probably a little bit unresting. I mean, you can hear the odd wolf howl in the background, which, you know, there's some owls and stuff hooting around. The general nighttime sounds. But with our amazing cleric being vigilant and watching over you guys, you get a pretty good night's rest. Dawn rises, the sun begins to come up. You're a little bit damp because of the dew and stuff like that, but most of that is being kept off by your blankets. At this point, the horse is rested. For the most part, everybody else is feeling a lot better after a good night's sleep. The soreness on your wounds has pretty much died down. And you're probably about as fresh as you're going to be at this time in the morning and after what happened to you the night before. So,
Great.
what do you guys want to do?
I would like to hop in the back of the cart.
Alrighty. So back of the cart for you.
I guess I'll drive. No, Kia's going to drive because I can't really ride horses very well. So
Gotcha.
I'll sit next to her. Yeah.
Alrighty.
All right. I climb into the driver's seat and beckon Radovan in.
Ooh la la.
Ooh.
Alrighty, and off you go with your horse and cart up the road. Well, basically, you travel most part of the day. Nothing really untoward happens. It's fairly peaceful. There's no major disturbances. You don't really see anybody as you travel. It seems to be a fairly quiet and lonely road. But then coming from such a teeny tiny village, it's not at all surprising. After almost a full day of traveling, as it begins to just about get dusk, the sun is finally, the sun has gone to bed. And around you, you're noticing that the terrain it's not as flat as it was. There are no trees anymore, but it is getting very hilly. As you're kind of heading in the direction, you know that you can't be too far away from the city, but
the foothills of Saruman.
it's still not visible by you guys yet. So as you're kind of coming up through the hills and stuff here, it's definitely quiet still. As I said, you haven't seen anybody on the road at all day.
It's now time to make camp.
That's up to you guys.
I say we alternate our shifts and keep going. I want to get off this road as quickly as possible.
I concur. How's the horse holding up? We should probably, feed and water him. Take care of his needs.
That's a really good idea, Raisa.
All right. Yeah,
Do we
go.
have food and water for this horse? I don't think I remembered to pack extra.
The guy provided some grain and stuff with the horse. There's some on the back.
Okay.
Perfect.
He wasn't going to send you on a 3-day journey with his horse and his cart without
Yeah,
making
he
sure
better
that
not.
you had the means to take care of his horse. So there you go.
Alright, so I'm gonna hop out, go towards the horse, and with the hay and the water, let the horse eat and drink for probably 5 to 10 minutes and
Alrighty.
get back in.
Okay, you're in the process of doing this. Suddenly,
Oh no.
there's a sound like flapping wings. They're kind of like leathery bat-like wings, and they can be heard above you. Kind of glancing around, you look and notice a strange-looking creature that is hovering in and around the cart. It's at least 10 foot, kind of 10 foot above you guys. The creature is about 2 feet in length. It has a bat-like wingspan of no more than about 3.5 feet. It's got pallid green skin and covered in warts and boils, like some kind of grotesque flying toad. It's smiling at you with like an intelligent grin, full of menacing razor-sharp teeth. And it seems to be almost taunting you, like in an annoying fashion. It's not really trying to attack you yet, but it also knows that it's out of your reach. You can't really hit it from here.
Would a knowledge nature check, would that do anything to see if we know what it is? Or is that...
You can certainly try and see if it is something of that natural variety, something you might
Yes,
recognize.
I would like to know that.
Okay, so go ahead and do that. Knowledge nature. And we will see.
Oh boy.
Okay.
I don't think I knew much.
It's definitely something that you don't recall being anything from a natural environment. I mean, it's hideous looking. If nature brought this thing into existence, it was playing a pretty cool joke on everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, guys, I think we should just keep moving. I mean,
Yep.
races, you can't hit it, right? I mean, it's too far up, so.
I'll keep an eye on it.
None of you could hit it with a melee weapon. I mean, it's possible, Race, you could hit it with a bow, but it's like trying to shoot a bird down.
Okay.
So I'll keep an eye on it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna speed the horse up a little bit. Maybe we can go a little bit faster to see if it'll follow us or not.
Alrighty.
Yeah, if you see it like getting closer to the ground, maybe you can try to hit it, but don't waste your arrows. You know, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's clearly not natural in a way, so yeah.
Alrighty. Well, you climb back on the cart, you try to move the horse again. At this point, it makes a dive bomb at the horse's head. Like now you guys are all on the back of the cart, and the horse is like up front. It comes flying down, and seems to be like trying to grab hold of the back of the horse's neck and sink its teeth in, as its wings flap violently in the air.
It has teeth?
Oh, it does. Little nasty sharp ones.
Shoot it, please.
Shoot it. Shoot
Guys, just...
Well, bearing in mind, it's on the back of the horse's neck. If you shoot at it from here and Racia
already
misses,
clad.
you're going to hit the horse.
Radavan, can you get on top of that horse?
I'm not
Climb
diving on
onto
top of... I hate birds. Are you kidding me? Look,
Oh boy.
the horse will be
Big
fine.
wuss?
Well, I'm dressed in metal, guys. Like, if I jump on that horse, I'll break its legs. Are you kidding me?
It's continuing to try to, while you guys are arguing about what you're doing in the back of the cart, this time it manages to sink its teeth down in the horse kind of rears up, like, of course it's shackled to the cart, so it doesn't throw anybody off, but you're all being tossed around in the cart as this thing is losing its damn mind. Your horse is starting to bolt.
Okay.
Who's in control of the cart?
Shoot the
I am.
damn bird.
Okay, you're going to need to make a check. We're going to use a ride check. I'd like you to make a ride check to see if you can manage to keep control of this horse as it attempts to bolt.
Okay.
And meanwhile, I'm going to make my way to the horse
No.
and towards the bird.
Oh, no.
Okay, guys. Well, suddenly the horse, just kind of bolts off into the distance. You're all kind of thrown back as the horse starts charging off. Kia's hanging on for dear life, like trying to rein the horse in, but it doesn't seem to be having any of it. If you want to try to do an Indiana Jones and climb over the cart and jump on the back of the horse as it gallops forward, you are welcome to attempt to do so.
Let's do it.
Do it,
We
guys.
need to. We need that horse. And I think I'm the
I'll
closest
protect the
person
tonics,
that
guys.
will be able to.
Uh-oh.
So it's probably gonna have to be me. So.
I think we lost. Did we lose Jane?
Yeah, well, Jane's cam's died for a second. She'll be right back.
All right.
So, yeah, basically, if you're going to try to do that...
I am.
Okay.
Sorry.
Then you're going to need to make a climb check, first of all, to scrabble up and across. Let's see how you do. Oh, look at you, like a pro.
Sweet.
Okay, so Racia balances on the edge of the car and then makes a dive, landing on the back of the horse. Okay, as soon as you land on the horse, the thing immediately lets go and flutters up in the air because you scared it and startled it. You're now hanging on to the back of the horse for dear life.
That's cool.
But the creature is not attacking the horse now, at least.
Where's
What
the
is-
creature?
Yeah, what is the creature doing?
It's kind of fluttering above you menacingly, again, like, ha ha ha. You know, I'm after you.
Okay, well, I just want to make sure the horse is okay. So can I try and calm it down in some way, shape, or form?
You can attempt to do that. Do you have any kind of animal handling or anything like that? Do you have animal handling skill?
Just, it's
If
not
not,
checked
I mean-
off.
Right, so you can try it, but you're not particularly skilled. You're not known for your animal wilds, but it would be a D20, and I think for you,
+1.
+1, yes. Okay, yeah, you...
No shit, I'm not known for that.
Let's get ready to fumble!
It's like I cursed everybody with my rolls last week. Seriously. This is not, yeah.
In your attempt to calm the horse down, you accidentally kind of, as it lunges, your hands fall forward, touching it where the wound is, which really upset the horse. You're going to have to make a check to see if you can stay on the horse. Dexterity check, please. Fortunately for you, you are pretty dexterous.
And
So that's just a D20 plus your modifier?
Yes, please.
How?
Oh, look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah!
Okay. As the
Stay
horse
on
kind
that
of
horse.
slings to the left, you kind of adjust your weight skillfully and kind of hold on to the side of the attachments to the car and ride it through the curve and then pull yourself back on top. So you've skillfully managed to avoid that. Your additional weight, however, pulling on the reins is actually slowing the horse down. As its head is pulled back with you kind of pulling so hard on it, and it now sort of, after a few more feet, comes to a steady trot and then stops.
How broken are our wares?
Y'all are all pretty good. I mean, you're mostly just sore and battered and bruised a little bit from the rodeo ride, but other than that, you're okay. Now, if you're talking about the stuff
our
in the
glass
back,
vials.
that you're going to have a look. You're going to have to open up some...
Oh, no.
Wait, to like test them or just to see if they broke?
Well, they're all,
Yeah, take a
they're all
swig.
inside those. They're all inside those sealed crates. So you're gonna have to open one to see if the glass inside actually busted or not.
Do we care to look, or should we just get going?
I'm scared. I don't really want to know right now.
I just want to go.
Is there
Just want to get out
anywhere?
of here.
Yeah, is there any cover in our immediate vicinity that we might be able to hide under while the bird is still around
Well,
that we can see?
Not really. Your choices are to. I mean, there are some trees that you can kind of head towards a little bit ahead of you, which would give you a little bit of cover, but nothing major.
Well,
I
I
mean-
vote.
And
I'll
we'll
just
just-
stay. I'm just gonna stay on the back of the horse. Let's just keep going. I'll stay on the back of the horse. Radvan, you watch from the back. Kia, you drive. Let's go.
So, Rista, can I borrow an arrow? I have an idea for if the bird tries to attack again.
I'm just gonna pass it to her and from behind me.
Thank
How injured is the horse? Like, is it able to still do its thing, or should I do another heal? Like, I'm getting kind of tired praying to my god. I think he's going to get frustrated with me.
The
with all
horse.
this upkeep.
The wound doesn't look bad, but you're noticing now that the horse is becoming very lethargic. Its shoulders are dragging, its head's dropping a little bit.
All right, I guess I got to do another heal. Yeah, I'm going to do another heal.
All right, a big heal or a little heal?
A little heal. Just to,
Okay.
like, give it a little boost.
Okay.
Little pep in his step.
Yeah,
Right.
you know.
You lay
Little
your
hip-de-doo.
right, so you lay hands on it, heal it for 1 point of damage, which pretty much takes care of the little bite marks on the back of its neck, but it doesn't seem to really improve its physical prowess in any way. It's very, very lethargic all of a sudden.
Oh no.
Okay, is anybody keeping an eye on the flying creature?
I am.
Radavan's supposed to be.
Well, Radavan's now currently healing
He's
the horse,
supposed to be.
so he's
So I am.
Hey, I'm only human. I can only do so much, all right? And I can't even hit the
You
bird.
are only human, puny human.
I can't even hit the bird. With my morning
all right.
star.
Let's let each of you go ahead and make a spot check real quick.
All right.
Let's see what you can pull off with a spot check.
7.
He is a 12. And Radavan.
I am.
Wow. Mr. Observant for once.
I am only human, damn it, and that's what I can do. I can heal a horse and see a bird at the same time.
Well, actually, it's not the bird that you've seen.
Oh.
Nestled up on the top of the hill, almost like he's giving instructions to the bird, out of the corner of your eye, you see a strange robed figure. Right up here. I mean, he's a good way above you. I mean, there's probably, a couple of 100 feet between you and him, and he's way perched up on the top of the hill there. But every great once in a while, the little creature, yeah, don't worry about that. That's wrong scale. The little creature is glancing at him, almost like it's taking some kind of instructions from him.
It's a spy.
Son of a...
I turn to my compatriots and say, and I tell them what I see, what I spotted. And I ask, what do you guys want to do about this? Do you want to try to flank him or get him?
There's something strangely familiar about this guy and his outfit, however. Like you've seen this, maybe not him, but you've definitely seen this look before. Repents one, thank you for the follow.
We need to stop.
What kind of familiar?
Oh, I don't know, from your recent past. Before you became
Debonair past?
No, more like the hooded black robe individuals that you encountered right before you seem to find yourselves unconscious.
Ooh.
Maybe this guy knows something about what happened to you. Okay,
Without consulting anyone, I'm stopping. I'm stopping
Okay.
the horse.
You stop the horse. The bat-like creature now is making a dive-bombing attack. And we're going to roll randomly to see who it chooses to attack. So, yeah, let's keep this. We're going to make this nice and random, so we keep it nice and fair. We are going to roll. I'm going to roll a d6. On a 1 to 2, it's going to go for Radavan. On a 3 for 4, it's going to go for Kia. And on a 5 to 6, it's going to go for Bane. Or for, Resa.
On Radavan!
Yeah!
1! Okay. The bat-like creature suddenly just spanks and comes dive-bombing straight down as Radavan's standing there. He's looking at the thing over here, the guy on the hill. He's healing the horse. He's got everything going on.
Seriously.
Radavan's. Okay, the thing comes flying down and lands on your shoulder. You can feel like its little teeny tiny claws digging into your neck. It doesn't really do any damage, but it hurts. But then it, takes a huge chunk and bites into your neck itself, literally, digging its fangs in. The good news is, it only does 1 point of damage. However, as soon as it does so, it kind of almost immediately lets go, and as it flutters away, you can kind of hear what sounds almost like an inhumane laugh, like...
What the?
Oh, it's on now.
It is on. Is it still in range for me to attack it?
With ranged attack, of course, if it's within range with a magic missile, you can't miss.
Yes, I just want to hit that thing.
All right, go for it. Blast it. 1d4 plus 1 for your damage.
Come on, you can do it.
Blast him.
Do it.
Yes!
Yeah.
Yeah!
The ball of blue glowing light leaves Kia's hand and, almost like a homing missile, tracks the little creature as it tries to fly away, slamming it hard. The creature, flutters and drops 4 or 5 feet out of the air as it attempts to regain its composure. Right before it hits the ground, however, it kind of swoops and manages to pull itself out of a dive. but it's definitely kind of, you can see the way one of its wings is working. It's kind of gimp as it's flying kind of sort of sideways, like left and right. It's not really going as straight as it was.
How far away is it?
About 20 feet from here.
May I shoot it?
You can attempt to shoot it by all means.
I want to shoot that motherfucker.
It'll be pretty hard to hit, considering the fact that you're basically tracking this thing as it attempts to fly, but it's slower than it was.
I
I'm a
say, shoot him in the balls.
Oh, my neck.
So it would be at +5.
+5?
Yep, because it's still within range of. It still counts as point blank range for you. Okay, your arrow flies, barely winging it. You do hit it, but only just. So roll your damage, which is 1d6 for you. You know it's scary. Thank you for the follow.
Sweet.
Nice. Oh,
D Blackburn 42, thank you for the follow. Okay, you plug it
Just
for
do
5.
it.
The arrow severs the wing membrane, but kind of tears it, rips it all the way down the side, making it impossible for this thing to fly as it kind of comes spiraling down and smashes into the ground.
How far away is it on the ground?
About 25 feet away. It's struggling to try to get up, but it's clearly seriously injured.
Do
Radovan,
you guys
help
want me to try and catch this thing?
Or you.
Ye-
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, definitely.
Radovan, can you make a fortitude saving throw for me, please?
all right.
Why?
Well, may have something to do with the fact that this nasty little creature bit him. Kind of the
Bit
same
the
sort of
neck,
thing that happened to
man.
the horse. Fortunately, you are super. You have a high constitution. Your fortitude is 7, so you're D20 plus 7.
Wow.
Don't mess with me. Oh.
And you needed every bit of it.
Back.
However, as tough and as noble and bold as Radovan is, he's starting to feel very kind of lethargic. Your vision is blurring just a little bit. And, I mean, you can almost feel like your neck wound where it bit is really starting to sting.
Oh no.
Human can't see as it is.
No, he's kind of staggering a little bit. Whatever it was.
Hey, who said that? Where are you?
Okay,
heard
me,
that.
Radovan,
Risa.
are you okay?
Oh.
Radovan.
Huh? Is the guy still up there? I just see nothing.
I look up.
Whoever that guy is.
I'm making a move for the little green thing.
He's still up there watching. It's like he's observing everything you guys are doing. He's standing up there, just looking down the hill at you. Considering the distance, and you've got no light, if he can see you, he must have extremely good vision as well.
There's probably an elf.
So who's
Elf.
instant? There's the instant excuse. Something bad happens. Elves are behind it. Radovan the racist. So, Racer,
I whisper, what
you're
should
going
we
over
do?
to the creature, right?
Yes, I would like to get the creature.
Okay.
Okay.
So she's running over to it. It's kind of looking up at you and spitting, like almost in defiance. What do you want to do? It's trying to crawl away.
Grab it by the, pluck it up by the,
Step on it.
little neck or yeah, maybe I should just smoosh it.
I mean, it's still.
I want to smoosh it like a little bug, just BAM!
Well, I mean, it's only about 2 feet. It's about 2 foot long. It's more like a very large rodent at this point. I mean, if you was to bring your size 9s down on it, it would pretty much squish it.
My boots?
Yeah, or you could toe punt it.
Ooh, like a gnome.
Yeah, or you could stab it, hack it, do whatever you wish.
Well, you know what? Stabbing is probably better than squishing at this point. You think? What do I have to roll to squish?
If you choose to squish it, with as damaged as it is, you're going to squish it.
Squish.
Okay, so you're basically.
Squish.
Racia stamps down hard on this thing. There's kind of a gratifying crunch and a squelch.
No.
And the thing is no more than a big splat underneath your boot. At that point, the figure up on the hill just kind of nods and then turns around and just starts walking down the other side of the hill away from you.
Oi, get back here.
I mean, he's a good way away from you at this point. Okay, guys, we're going to take a quick break. All right, guys, so you've squished the nasty little creature, and the hooded figure has disappeared over the horizon, away from you.
What's more important?
Oh, man,
What's
okay.
more important? Finding this guy who might be able to help us with this curse,
Okay.
or trying to go after that hooded guy that we kind of recognize from our Night of the Mark.
Well, did anybody make it known that they kind of recognize him?
Well, all of you do, but it's up to any of you if you're going
But we haven't said it to each other, so I'm going to say I think we should get our butts into town here.
I'm gonna agree, and I'm gonna go sleep in the back of the car.
Right. Ranavan, you've seen Ranavan before like this, but usually it's when he's drunk. He hasn't touched a drop all day, and he is acting drunk.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Cart, me, go now.
I disagree, but I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna purse my lips and get the cart rolling.
Okay,
I
so
don't really agree with this.
all right, so basically you're just going to try to move on and leave Ranavan dying in the back.
Yep.
Yes.
Actually, I'm going to be in the back with them because Kio's driving, so maybe I should check and see if... I think all the stuff I picked up was poison, not healing, but I might have some healing stuff with me in my inventory, so maybe I will look, see if I have some herbs that might help with his injury.
That's really funny to me. The fact that Radovan was the guy that was like, "Hey, don't come near me with any of that herbs and stuff," and Racy is now in the back of the car, hovering over him, going through all these concoctions, looking at him and smiling.
And I am too out of it to notice.
It's like you're aware, but you're aware in that leave me alone type stage, you know. That you're overtired, overdrunk. You can't really fend anybody off. You're anybody's right now. Racy could have her way with you, and you're done.
Ooh la la.
So
she's only a half elf, so I might consider it. You know.
You won't be considering anything. You're almost unconscious.
I'm just kidding.
She could be an 8-foot ogre named Bruno, and it isn't going to matter. It's going to happen if they want it.
Bruno.
How you doing?
Hey, boy. Look mighty cute in them robes. So, okay, Racia, how do you wish to attempt to tend to Radovan's wounds in any way? Bear in mind,
I
it's
should
not
take a look
physical
at
wounds.
them, see if there appears to be anything that I might be able to do from him, and if there is, maybe attempt.
We
Okay.
all know where this leads.
You can certainly try a heal check if you want.
No, please no, stop.
This could be interesting.
Let me
I'm
pull-
sorry, brother,
Okay, let me go to the action
for
roll.
failing you. I was wrong.
All right, a 6. Is that your roll from here? The 16.
Yeah, 16.
Okay, it's clear to you that obviously it's not the wound. He's not suffering from the wounds, but the wound is definitely infected. With the little green oozy stuff coming out of it, you're pretty sure that it's some kind of venom or poison.
So I should have a remedy for that. As I love the poisons, I should know how to unpoison as well.
Well, indeed, but of course, most poisons have to be treated with a very specific antivenom to work well.
Yes.
So
You're gonna treat me like some soup kitchen, aren't you? Like some random.
You
Now-
will be my guinea
Yeah,
pig. I shall
yeah.
experiment.
That's the word I was looking. I'm too drugged to know what I'm talking about.
So-
it's Frankenracia.
Frankenracia.
Dr. Racia Stein.
That's right.
Well, you did make a point of gathering some of the herbs from the herbalist. So
Nice.
make another heal check, and if your heal check is good enough, then we'll see if you can at least.
All right. What do we need? What do we need?
You want high numbers.
Well, what's my goal here? I just wanted to have something to cheer for.
Okay, you're going to need an 18 to successfully
Uh-oh.
treat.
Ready?
Do it.
I'm
16.
so-
Oh, so close. Okay,
Oh,
well, if you look at the herbs and you know that some of them could be useful, but they're just not in the state that they need to be in. They need preparing. They need getting ready to actually do something, and you don't have that. Now, of course, you do have a ton of unknown tonics and remedies in the back. Maybe they're labeled. Maybe they're not.
How bad is Radovan looking at this point?
Physically, he looks fine. He's a little pale.
Almost pale.
It's more the way he's just...
It's already pale.
He's starting to sweat. He's looking feverish.
Okay. Well, I'm going to converse. Kia, what do you think? He's not looking the best. We could check and see if there's anything in these crates, or do you just want to like get him to town and get him some attention?
I glance around at the crates. How much further do we have?
Well, they said it was 3 days ride.
Right.
You're
And
a good day away.
We're 2.5 in.
I think we should just get to town. What if we use it and then the mayor notices and then he doesn't tell us where that cursed, what is his name, that man is? I'm just not sure. I think maybe Radovan can wait it out.
All right, let's get going then. So
Okay.
I'm going to.
So poor Radovan is basically left to his own devices. He lives, he dies. It's all on nature. It's up to nature. It's the fate. Hey, you know what? It's in St. Cuthbert's hands.
I'm going to take an active watch of our surroundings, like looking back, and tell Kia to watch the front, and we'll just get it.
I will
Get
be
it.
automatically watching the front as I steer this horse, so don't worry.
All
Get
right.
it.
Wow. Okay. Radovan, I hope you've been a good priest and that St. Cuthbert thinks that you're worth saving. That's all I can say.
Me too, man. Me too.
So are you guys just gonna you're just gonna hoof it then? You're just gonna push it through the night and try to get to the town as quickly as you possibly can.
Yes, because there must be some herbalist or maybe the mayor will know.
Alrighty. Anyone want to keep an eye on him in the back, or are you just gonna check him when you get there? He's either alive or he's dead.
I'm watching as well, right? Because I'm facing back.
Okay.
Yep.
Right. Well, you guys you kind of travel on throughout the night. You're going across lots of open plains. As morning comes, however, to your right, you can see, and I'll take you guys to see the overview map. Okay, so here's where you guys are. They're right here, everybody. And your destination is right here. There's Saruman. Around there, you can see there's the cliff that they talked about, which is why you can't actually go, because it would be really, you're actually fairly close to Saruman, but you can't get to it. You've got to go all the way around and join the main road. But at the rate you're going, you should be there probably by midday.
Let's check on Radovan again, see how he's faring.
Okay, you kind of go over. Who's checking on him?
I will, because Kia's steering.
Okay, so Racia goes over. Come closer. Going over, you're checking on Radovan. He's still. He's not moving at all. It's like he's no longer murmuring like he was. He's like deathly. Suddenly he just leaps up out of nowhere like, ah! all scared, like starts looking around. Holy crap! He doesn't seem too bad all of a sudden. I mean, he stopped sweating. It seems to be that most of this stuff, maybe through the day or through the night's travel, has worked its way out of his system. Radovan, you feel groggy. You feel like your upper body feels stiff, like you slept wrong, like you've got a crook neck right from the source of where the bite was. But whatever the venom was, it obviously wasn't anything too lethal and too bad. It's working its way out of your system. You just kind of feel like you just had a really, you know how you do most mornings. You wake up, Radovan he's got a hangover, he's feeling rough, he knows he did it too hard. That's kind of how you feel this morning. It's just you don't have the gratification to know you drunk a whole bunch the night before.
All right.
Instead of being very surprised by his scream, I look back at him and nod and calmly say, "Yes, the toxins are leaving him. I knew it would be okay."
In my expert sorceress opinion,
I look at Reza and say, "What are you doing? Get away from me, please."
Watching over your dumbass. And
like hovering over you like some kind of vampire at night. Whoa.
Some mother.
You
Worried
can watch
mother.
me from a distance, please. Just no.
I kind of turn my head back. Ooh la la!
Yeah.
I'm going to
They're getting
go
dizzy.
sit up front with Kia and mumble, "Stupid humans."
Right. Okay.
Yeah. You don't need to tell me that.
Well, by the time you get to the main road and start heading down towards Saruman, it's kind of mid-afternoon, and you guys have been up. Once again, you've been up a good bit, so everybody's feeling pretty tired at this point. You rode out throughout the entire night. The large township of Saruman sits upon the bluff of a large, rough range of hills. Saruman was once a fortress many hundreds of years past, and was built on the hill as a defensive structure to defend the area during the Orc Wars. Today, only the keep itself still stands, but the town has been built up around it. Below the rough cliffs of the outskirts of Saruman are some smaller hills and some woodland. Above it, some crags, and a much more kind of sheer hill cliff range, making it only possible to reach Saruman from the northwest, which is the direction you guys are coming from, or the east. As you approach, the town has a wooden wall built around it, offering some basic defenses, but they haven't been needed or tested in many a decade. As you approach the northern gates, you see 4 men-at-arms watching people as they pass in and out, briefly stopping them, momentarily engaging them in conversation, before ushering them on their way as they enter the town.
Alright.
Okay,
So are we
so
pulling up to these guards?
you're approaching them, yeah, unless you guys want to stop and hold back and talk about it.
Nope.
I don't.
I'm just gonna go approach them.
Okay, you trundle up with the cart. As soon as you get there, one of the guards takes a few steps forwards. Hello there.
Hi.
Might I ask what you're bringing into Saruman? And the
We have a
reason for
delivery
your
for
visit.
Ashland, Maine.
Alleged man, thank you for the follow. Ashland, Maine? What do you want with that crackpot?
We have a
Isn't he the
delivery.
mayor of your town?
No, Ashland, if you're talking about who I think you are, he said, that's the loopy old wizard that lives here. If you're looking for the mayor,
Aren't we looking for the mayor, Raisa, to deliver
the
these
mayor,
goods?
Ashland, Maine. That's the name we were given.
no, he said, well, Ashland, Maine is as I said, Ashland, Maine is the local wizard that lives here. Not the
Raisa,
mayor.
you're getting it confused.
He's not the
Ashland,
mayor.
Maine is the wizard. The mayor's the mayor.
Hey, what's going on up there? Let's go. Come on. It's a holdup.
I kind of nudge Raisa, like, let me handle this.
He says, you seem a bit confused. He said, what exactly are you bringing into the town? What's on the back of the cart there?
I'm sorry, sir. My friend here has just woken up from a long nap. She is referring to the mayor of Saruman. We are delivering these herbs to him.
Herbs? He said, wait a minute, you're not talking about the tonic shipment.
I might be.
Well, you are or you're not. He said, maybe we should investigate to see exactly what you've got going on here. As he kind of beckons to 2 of the other guards, and they kind of come wandering over. He says,
Go ahead. We have nothing to hide, sir.
He says, don't mind us. Okay, Radovan, 2 guards kind of come walking around and kind of look at you as much to say, can we have your approval to examine your merchandise? They're like,
What's the problem? What's the problem, sir?
Officer.
what's the problem, officer?
Don't say officer.
Do you have any idea how fast you are going, son? Basically, he says, the problem is you don't seem to know who you're coming to see, and you're not entirely sure what it is you're carrying. Just seems a little suspicious, that's all. Not saying you're doing anything wrong, but our boss here seems to think that we need to investigate your merchandise just to make sure you're not bringing anything in that's, unnatural.
Look, we're bringing in products. We're bringing in gold. It looks like you guys could use some of it. Let us buy, please.
He said, you wouldn't be trying to bribe me, would you, sir?
No, I'm talking about your local tavern, which probably has a whiskey that I'm really in the mood for at this point in time. I've had a hell of a night, and I just want to get somewhere to rest.
He says, well, the quicker you let us check what's in these crates, Once we're satisfied that there's nothing iffy, the quicker we'll let you get to the local tavern.
Well, it's clearly not weapons, sir. Come on.
He says, I understand it's not weapons, but because the more you seem to resist us taking a look, the more suspicious we're getting. Now, I'm going to have to ask you to step down from the cart, please, sir.
I do this. I follow his order. And then I throw up my arms in surrender and say, go ahead. We got nothing to hide.
Okay. The two guards that are standing there with their long spears are just kind of holding them at arm's length, not like point first, like they're threatening you, but in a, let's just establish a little bit of a perimeter here, while one of the others climbs up on back of the carts. He gets to the first crates. Of course, you guys hope that you're carrying what the guy told you is carrying, because none of you have ever checked this stuff.
That's actually really true.
Okay, he prizes the top off, and he's like, what have we got here? And turns around and looks at you. And he pulls out what looks like about 25 keys of cocaine. No, basically, what he does is he kind of holds up what looks like a bottle, a vial. And he says, you are carrying the tonic shipment. Well, why didn't you say so? At this point, the captain of the guard says, the tonic shipment, yes, we'll happily give you directions to the mayor. He said, right, stalwarts, and he points at one of the two guards. Go with these good people and make sure they find the mayor post-haste and that they're not harassed. And he says, certainly, sir. And he comes running around and attempts to climb up on the front of the cart, right next to Kia.
Hello, sir.
Okay, if you're not stopping, he kind of plops down next to you holding his spear. And he looks at you and smiles.
Turn, act normal, and huzzah, get the horse going.
You try to act normal.
Yeah. But I'm just very, very awkward when I'm
right.
one-on-one with people.
Kia doesn't like strangers.
I don't.
So basically, they let you enter the town. Here is Saruman. So you're coming in up here, guys. You're coming in through the northern gates.
I don't see anything.
You don't, because I haven't given it to you guys yet. Aha!
Gotcha.
I've given it to the viewers. I'm showing them first.
I see. Okay.
So once you enter the town, the first thing you notice is there's some old stone ruins dotted around. Sitting in the very center of the town, you can see what looks like a huge old stone keep. All the other buildings are made of wood and seem to have kind of come up in much more recent years. So it was like this was once the ruins of a fort. Whatever happened to it, it got in serious ill repair. So people have gone ahead and actually built a town up around the ruins of that particular instance. And it's got some historic nature to some of these people. So once you're here at the town, the guard that's on the front is escorting you straight down Main Street. You pass what looks like a large inn to your left, which is prominently displaying the proud sign of the Hillcrest Inn. You head down past what looks like a marketplace over here on your right, and you arrive directly out front of this huge, big stone keep here. The second you arrive, the guard leaps down and he says, "Here you are." He said, "You'll find the mayor inside." And might I say, I'm awfully glad that you guys have made it here. He said, "None too soon, might I add."
Is everything okay? I ask him before he leaves us.
Oh, it is now. Well, I don't want to delay you. He said, plus, I've got to get back to the gate. He said, boss can be pretty grouchy if I take too long. He said, and if I hurry now, I can nip in the pub and have a quick pint before I get back on duty.
Thank you, guard.
And he hops
Rest
off
well.
and scarpers off up the road as well as he can.
A pint, eh?
Okay. The Stone Keep is the only original yet fully intact building in this town. Solid stone walls with castle-like shutters for windows tell the tale that this was once used what was once used to being in a very different surrounding. It's a large building, far bigger than anything else in town, and it serves multiple purposes. Several armed militia, similar to the guards, can be seen walking in and out of the building itself, mulling around. They kind of look at you curiously as you approach. Several of them seem to be glancing at Radovan and almost nodding, like almost as if you may possibly have some kind of status here.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Get the royal treatment.
Roll my eyes.
I turn to the two and say, "Who wants to talk to the mayor?" Kind of expecting their answer, but asking anyway, just because gotta alleviate some of the hostilities and tension of the previous night, you know?
Not me.
I think back to my encounter with that old man that can't hear anything. I'm like, you got this one. You got this one, Radovan.
Clearly the diplomat, Radovan.
Yep. All right. I heft my shield in my shield arm, and I guess hold the Morning Star in a lax fashion, and I proceed to enter the keep to see the mayor.
All right, you girls going in with him?
Yes, I'm gonna follow behind him.
In the shadows, yes.
All right.
Not in the shadows for me.
Oh no.
Okay, you guys all wander in. Whoop, and we don't do that. Turn it all blue. Okay, there we go. So once you go inside, the inside is plain and simple, a large main hall with a few desks scattered around and 2 doors at either side. At the room's far end, some old double doors sit firmly shut, with 2 guards standing with pikes either side of them.
Who? Okay. I walk into the room, waiting for someone to stop me, essentially, or address me.
Okay. Well, the person in the center of the room just seems to be a villager or a townsfolk just here for some kind of business. There's a couple of clerks sitting at the desks either side. They're basically knee-deep in paperwork, not paying any attention to you guys whatsoever.
Okay. Pass by them all. Go right to the 2 guards.
Okay. As soon as you get to the 2 guards at the front of the gate, however, or the entrance, they both immediately kind of move in to bar your way. Crossing their picks or their pikes directly across the door, one of them looks at you and says, do you have an appointment?
Yes, my name is Radovan Rainier. I am here with Kia and Reza, my 2 friends. We are here to see the mayor. We have a shipment of goods that was delivered from whatever that town to the south of us was. Do you guys remember? I turned to my 2 friends to ask them if they remember the name. Because I surely don't.
I just step in. It's the tonic shipment.
Okay, as soon as the mention of the tonic shipment, they're like, oh, awfully sorry. Sorry to detain you. Yes, very important information. Thank you. By all means, go inside.
Thank you.
The doors open up for you. All right, so they push the doors in. Inside that room, okay, as soon as you kind of get in there, this burly-looking armored guy comes and intercepts you, stands directly between you and the mayor's desk. The mayor's office is large indeed. To the right side, a circular table and the left side, a circular table and a set of 4 chairs can be seen. Past them is a harpsichord. The rest of the room is adorned by a large elaborate rug in the center, which sits in front of a huge, well-carved desk, covered in clutter. The mayor sits behind the desk wearing red robes of office and a big, pompous hat with a huge feather on it. He stands as you enter the room, almost in greeting, but the well-armored man with the purple flowing cloak walks briskly to intercept you. As he stands in front of you, he puts out one hand and says, "State your business."
How many levels of security does this place need?
Hey, it's the mayor, right?
Of this place? Come on. We're here with the tonic shipments. I say this very loudly and very clearly.
Okay, as soon as you say that, the mayor immediately kind of waves his arms like, no. He said, they're fine. Move aside. And the guy kind of gets out of your way. I'm the mayor of Saruman. Augusto Treoki is my name. What can I do for you? Oh, yes, the tonic shipment. As he's talking, his eyes wander to Radovan's belt. And he seems to be eyeballing the symbol of St. Cuthbert hanging from Radovan's breeches. At that point, he kind of breaks into an awkward smile. Oh, a priest of St. Cuthbert, from out of town, no less. I'm very pleased to make your acquaintance. I trust you're here also visiting Father Davion?
Father who?
Father Davion, the local priest of St. Cuthbert, here at our church.
Oh, okay. Sure, now I am. I guess...
But you brought our tonic. You brought the tonic with you. Oh. No. Please. Let's not waste our time here in formality. Come with me to my private chambers. We can talk more comfortably there. I can welcome you to Saruman more amicably, in much less formal surroundings. At this point, he kind of goes over to this side door here and wanders in through the door, eagerly beckoning you in, like, come, please, come on, we're all friends here.
Oh, God. All right. I follow.
I'm gonna follow. I don't know if I was invited, but I'm following anyway.
Oh, you're all invited.
Okay.
Okay, this room is somewhat smaller than the room you were just in, but no less impressive. Another ornate table and chair sits to the left of the room. There's shelves and a desk to the right. A huge, massive brown bearskin rug is like directly in front of a warm, already lit fireplace where two chairs hover welcomingly before you. There's a large chest in the far corner of the room, and in the opposite corner, a table with decanters and glasses, hinting at the possibility of some liquid hospitality. Please, if two of you would kindly grab chairs from the table and bring them to the hearth, we can make ourselves comfortable. Would you like a drink?
What do you got?
Yes.
Wine or brandy, perhaps? As he kind of hustles his way over to the drinks table as quickly as he can, and almost nervously is fumbling with the glasses. What can I get you?
I turn to...
ladies first, of course.
Yeah, I turn to them.
I quickly walk over to one of the chairs that's near the fireplace and sit down instead of helping by getting a chair, and I just say, just some water, please.
Alrighty. Water? Oh, absolutely. As he kind of shrugs his shoulders, puts one of the decanters down, picks up another, and just fills a glass. He hurriedly brings it over to you and hands it to you. His hand is almost shaking and quivering just a fraction.
I'm going to say I'm fine, thank you.
Oh, are you sure?
Yes.
You can have water also.
Actually, I wanted to ask you, sir, about a friend of yours, or we were told a friend of yours, by the name of Ashland Maine.
Oh, Ashland Maine. Well, he's not really a friend of mine, but he lives here in town, yes. Quite an odd fellow, really.
We were told that you might be able to get us an audience with him, and we wish to speak with him.
Well, I'll certainly do anything I can to facilitate this meeting. What about you?
I'll have the brandy, please.
Oh, good choice. I think I'll have one too.
I look at Raisa a little disappointed at her conduct. Straight to the point. I'm trying to finagle the situation before I was offered my drink.
You just want to get your drink on. We know how you are.
It's a free drink, man, and I have a hell of a headache from last night.
Okay. Well, he pours you a very large glass of brandy, and then almost as an afterthought, he pours himself a small one, then shrugs his shoulders and fills it up as much as he has yours. Kind of still almost quivering slightly, with his hand kind of shaking like this. He downs it, and some of it spills down his lips. He's like, "Oh, clumsy me." So, the tonic, where is it?
It's in the cart outside.
You didn't just leave it in the street, did you?
Well, I saw plenty of guards. I figured it'd be fine.
Oh, okay. As long as there's guards outside, then some of these people around here cannot be
A
trusted.
side glance to Race, yeah. Oops.
Oh, there you go. He says, but anyway, yes, so did you have any trouble getting here? You know you're late. We was expecting the shipment days ago, and things are, not particularly well right now. People have had to go a little bit too...
few people. They're quite debonair.
Quite debonair? What, like nobles? Pleasant people, I trust? Oh, well, I wouldn't describe bandits as debonair. Usually most bandits I've ever seen are scruffy urchins covered in dirt.
Yes, Mayor, I was being sarcastic.
Oh, I'm awfully sorry. My nerves are not what they should be, We've gone an
What's
awful...
going on in this town?
Well, they didn't tell you, they didn't warn you before you came through the gates?
Absolutely not.
Well, you understand the tonic that you're brought. You know what it's for, right? To cure everybody, or to at least fight off the malady. I mean, there is no cure for the malady, but it does stop everybody falling into some strange sickness. And we've had several people die from it. It's a terrible thing. They should have probably warned
Excuse
you.
me?
Well, yes, there's like a strange illness going through the town here, and this tonic.
Kind of strange.
Well, it's strange because nobody really knows how and why, and it only seems to affect people here in the town. So you guys will probably be fine. I hope.
Probably.
No guard
I
warned
hope.
us of this as we went in. In fact, they did the opposite and searched our carts.
Oh, well, you have to understand, they too are in need of the tonic. And they're probably very flustered, much like everybody else here. You see, this shipment, it comes into us once a month. We distribute it to everybody, and it fights off the symptoms. Without it, people get very lethargic, they break into the sweats, and eventually we've seen it. Several of them have died. It's quite a horrific thing, really. He said, unfortunately, we've yet to find anybody that knows how to make a cure. I've approached Ashland, Maine myself on numerous times, and he doesn't seem to want to give me any information. All he said is, I'm working on it, and quite honestly, I don't think he is. I don't think he cares one way or the other what happens to us. He stays there up in his tower, layering down on us all like ants. Thinks he's so
Very
pompous.
strange.
Well, I think
It only affects people in this town.
Well, it seems to. I mean, we've had other people leave and come back that are not affected, but it does seem to affect everybody here.
I'm going to take the glass of water out of Kia's hand and just kind of put it on the table away from her.
I look at this action and nod, but still drink my brandy.
I mean, even our good priests of St. Cuthbert here at the church seem to be powerless to help with this. I mean,
we need to see this mage on personal business of our own, so perhaps we can try to get some answers from him while we're also getting helped ourselves.
He says, well, I totally understand, and I think that's something you definitely should do. Unfortunately, he will not be back until tomorrow. He left town, said he would return on the morrow.
Where did he say he was? Do you know where he was going?
Well, no, he's a mage. I don't question the comings of goings of such folk. It's not wise.
I look at Kia and nod knowingly.
Smirk.
Like, mage. Yeah. All right.
Except I'm not a mage.
But by all means, he said, please, if you've brought the tonic here, the least I can do is, he said, hold on. He goes over to the table and starts scrawling on a piece of paper. He gets a big pile of wax and a seal, holds a candle over it, stamps it, and puts a seal on the piece of paper, and then kind of comes over with his shaking hand and hands it to you, Radabel. He says, this is a letter of marque. He said, it'll take care of any expenses that you have at the local inn. He said, just show this to the innkeeper, and he'll provide you with rooms and food and board and lodgings and all those sort of things. And maybe you can stay here in our town, enjoy our hospitality, and when the mage returns tomorrow, then by all means try to have your audience with him then. Now, if you don't mind, can we get to the tonic now, please? Please? As he keeps glancing at the door.
Sure. Yeah. I mean,
says, okay, well, good. Come on, friends. Come along. As he kind of ushers you out the door, like he's shooing you out of his office, like he wants to leave, but he's not leaving you in here.
All right. I'm going to follow.
Okay.
Can I be left alone, or is he making sure that
No, he's standing behind you all, and he's ushering you out. There's no way he's leaving you in this room.
Dang.
I want to go back in this room.
Okay, he kind of leaves out behind you and locks the door behind him, putting the key down inside his shirt as he escorts you out into the streets.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, back outside on the streets of Saruman. Once you go outside, the guards have formed like a perimeter around the cart, and you can see at least 24 anxious peasants all like jittering and standing there. Some of them are sweating. There's like a woman holding a small child, probably no more than 3 or 4, who seems to barely be conscious. And she's just kind of rocking him. It's okay, Timmy. The tonic's here now. It's all going to be okay.
I look at Kia and Reza and, you know, give them a "we need to talk" kind of look. As I then, you know, the mayor followed us out, right?
Yes.
I then I point to the cart with the tonics and say, "There you go, distribute it as you will." But I wash my hands of it.
He says, well, very well. Father Davion will distribute it at the ceremony this evening, which, of course, I'm sure you'll be part of. You'll be there, of course, won't you?
Ceremony.
What is your name, sir?
My name is Radovan Rainier.
Excellent. Radovan. Priest. Because I'm very, very glad to meet your acquaintance. Another priest of St. Cuthbert comes in very handy. That would put us at 3. I hope you're here to stay for a while. And you, my dear ladies, what would your name be?
My name is Kiliana. Nice to meet you, Mayor.
This is very, 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 very pleasant, very pleasant. And you, my dear?
And I'm Reza.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. Well, by all means, I'm sure you're tired and you're dirty. Well, yes, you kind of are dirty. You should all go to the inn and refresh yourselves. Take respite, get yourselves fed, rest up, and maybe once this, a few hours time, Father Davion will distribute the tonics in the rooms. So yes, we'll see you then. If you're looking for the church, if you head up the town here, all the way till you get to the crossroads right before the gate, and take a left, you can't miss it. The Church of St. Cuthbert is there.
Thank you.
He says, well, thank you. Please, if there's anything I can do. And at that point, he turns to address his minions, his people. Don't worry, I've seen to it that the tonic is here. We will take care of you all this evening. So just make sure that let's not have any rioting. Let's everybody stay calm. It's only a few hours. We'll have it taken care of. Women and children first, as usual. And there's definitely a feel in this town of real unrest. Like everybody is like, it's almost like the whole town is full of people that are going through the DTs.
Wow.
But it seems more of an actual sickness than any kind of, drug abuse.
All I'm feeling right now is I really want to get out of this town immediately.
I don't understand. Saruman is such a beautiful place. But anyway, I mean, you know where the inn is, and Radovan, he's giving you instructions to where you can find the Church of St. Cuthbert.
I say we go to the tavern first, guys. Discuss what we've witnessed and what we've heard, and come up with a game plan so we don't fall victim to this malady since we have our own to deal with.
Yeah,
what do you guys think?
You guys are like a walking collection of bad
Yes.
things right now.
Yes.
Yes,
we
are.
Reza, I noticed you didn't drink the water and you took Kia's away. From now on, give all the water you want to drink if you're thirsty to me, and I'll purify it. Because after you took all those poisons, that's the one thing I wanted to, study up on and be prepared for. No offense.
So you're actually good for something. That's
I'm good
nice.
for a lot of things. Thank you very much. But yes, let's go to the tavern, guys.
So last time, right before break, you guys had just talked to the mayor, and he had informed you that they were going to have a gathering to distribute the tonic in a few hours' time. You know where the tavern is, and you know where the Church of St. Cuthbert is. What do you guys want to do?
Well, I'm getting kind of hungry, but I'm kind of scared to eat the food around here, so I don't know. I need to know more about this this disease.
The malady that they keep referring to. You mean
Yes.
when it's in town? Oh, the inn might not be a terrible place to find out.
Yeah,
Well, and I'm still pretty freaking tired. I haven't really slept since we left.
and really we're here for the mage, and he's not here. So
Right.
I personally think we should just, relax and soak in our surroundings and maybe get some sleep.
AKA
some
Radovan
rest.
wants to drink.
And some whiskey, because the brandy was only okay. Yeah, that's my
Go to the
suggestion. So
tavern.
let's go to the tavern.
I'd like to go to the
Yeah, I'd
Alrighty.
like to go to the tavern as well.
Thunder Lily, thank you for the follow. Okay, guys, so you head up to the tavern, this building right here. Okay, so guys, oops, sorry. This is where they're heading, up here to the center of town, pretty much.
Okay.
Once you get to the Hillcrest Inn, it's a newish 3-story building, 2 floors full of rooms, and a common bar area below. So it's actually a larger inn than you're used to seeing. It's 3 stories tall. There's a fire, there's smoke bellowing out of the chimney stacks. You know, obviously, they've got a fire going, and there's some delicious smell of either roast boar or roast beef or something is wafting down the street towards you, filling your nostrils. Under normal circumstances, it smells delicious, but of course, all of you are a little bit apprehensive about the food. So, and directly across the street from you is a marketplace. You can see like various different stalls. It's kind of busy. People are bustling backwards and forwards, carrying all kinds of stuff.
Okay. I say we're going. Yeah, let's go into the tavern. I mean, stick with the plan, right? So.
Right. Okay. So you wander inside the tavern. It's extremely busy and bustling. And once you kind of wander in, the noise from all the different people are, I will eat the horse before I touch this food. Kia, right. There's like numerous serving wenches are bustling backwards and forward, carrying plates of food. As they bustle past you, there's like slabs and slabs of fresh cut meat. Some of the best food that you've ever smelled. I mean, it's definitely palatable, or it seems to be coming across.
It's crowded in here. I kind of yell.
Alrighty. And it is. It's very crowded in here. There's an awful lot of people coming and going. It's full of all kinds of people. Some very well dressed, some little more than commoners. The one thing that you definitely notice, though, is all of these people do seem to be either sweating a little bit, they have the shakes, there's something not quite right with them.
Can we look around and see if there's any place that's not touching people, like kind of isolated?
Isolated is kind of an ambitious statement. There is
just a table that's empty.
A small table that is empty that'll seat 4. But even then, people are going to be bustling backwards and forwards, bumping you and stuff like that. It's really not. It's really, really hard to kind of get away from everybody in here.
Yeah. Well, as we walk, I'm going to take my cape and kind of put it over my mouth and my nose.
Alrighty.
Radovan, is there any way you can check and make sure it's not the food that's causing the source, or do you have no?
Yeah,
He can bless it.
I can definitely bless what we choose to get.
Because
I think we need to eat. We need to rest. Maybe we can convince them to have the food delivered to our rooms and eat away from the crowds.
I'd like that.
I go to the bartender or the innkeeper and present the scroll saying, "Hey, my name is Radovan. The mayor sends me and my friends to your establishment with this," and I present it.
Alrighty. You kind of do so, and initially he's really not paying any attention to you whatsoever as you do it. It's like he's trying to serve like a dozen different people all at once. Then eventually he catches your eye and he grabs it and looks. And he's like, "Huh. Absolutely. What can I get you? A room? You need a room?
3 rooms, please.
Not a problem. Starts clicking his fingers like, he said, Sally, rooms for this gentleman and these 2 young ladies, please. Come on, hurry up, girl. She's like, "God blimey, it'll take me half a minute." He goes, "Give me half a minute. I just got to put these damn trays down." He's like, "Hurry, girl, come on. They haven't got all day." Right, she kind of, "Oh, whatever," puts a tray down and hands it to people. She comes over all in a tears, like wiping her hands on her apron. She says, "So, 3 separate rooms, is it?"
And some food as well. Your finest, please.
"Well, do you want the food or do you want the rooms? Or am I supposed to bring the food up to the rooms?"
That. Bring the food up to the rooms, please.
She's, "Fine, come along." And she kind of, "Get out of the way," and she like pushes one of the commoners out the side, barging, like literally berating a path through people like she's done this a dozen times before. She gets to the stairs, she takes you up the first flight. She goes, "First or second floor, love?"
Second.
Sure, second. Yeah.
Okay. Right, she kind of shrugs her shoulders and carries on walking down the end of the hallway, up the next flight of stairs. Finally, she says, "Any preference on a view?"
No.
Well, fine then. She boots open the closest door. She goes, "You're there!" She moves up one, kicks another door open. "You're there!" Moves down, kicks the other door open. "And you're there! Now, what do you want to eat?"
What do you have?
She goes, "Didn't you even look at a menu?" She goes,
No.
"Why don't I recommend something? Why don't you have the roast boar?"
Okay.
She goes, "Fresh bread? Vegetables?"
Yes. All of the above. Just bring it all.
She goes, "Fine. Drinks, anybody? Ale, mead, wine, whiskey, brandy, rum? What the hell do you want?" Come on, I haven't got all day."
Water,
take water.
please.
Whiskey and water.
She goes, "Fine. 3 waters, 1 whiskey, 3 plates of boar, 3 plates of vegetables, blah, 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 blah. Fine. Make yourselves comfortable. I'll be back up in about 20 minutes.
Thank you.
God, out of towners.
Ow.
Always wasting my time, taking so damn long to figure out what they want. And she wanders off down the hallway, muttering to herself. Almost as an afterthought, she turns around and she goes, "You gonna want hot water?"
Yes, please.
Of course you would, wouldn't you? Fine. She was, "Ladies first, I take it. You are a gentleman, I suppose." Probably not.
I say nothing to this and just turn to my friends.
Okay, she just like throws her hands up in a tiz and storms down the stairs. Okay, you guys have got 3 rooms like side by side. The rooms themselves are actually pretty decent. The beds are nice and plump, and they've got thick mattresses. They're clean. There's a wash basin in each room. There's a fairly simple but very well constructed and sturdy table and chair. There's a coat rack. There's even a couple of shelves. Strangely enough, there is also a book on each and every shelf, which is something you haven't seen before.
The same book?
In theory, if you want to compare books.
Maybe later. Let's all go into one room and talk about this.
Yes.
Just everything.
Yes, I agree. I thought.
I've only
Walk
gone
into the
right
first
after.
room.
The first
Yes.
room, yes.
Okay, so you kind of go in the room, close the door. It cuts out a lot of the verbal muttering coming from the tavern.
I immediately sit on the bed like that was so much noise. I'm just very happy to sit.
Is there a window in this room that we entered?
Yep.
I go to the window and lean against the edge and just look out.
It's what Cal thinking to follow.
And I nod all along.
Are you doing a model pose? Like...
Yeah, I'm doing a.
Okay. And you're looking out the window? Okay, basically looking out the window, you can see the well. Your view is of this area up here.
Perfect.
Okay, so you can see the well, and you can see the northern gates. You can just about make out the corner of the ruins over to your left, and a fairly plain-looking house across the street on the right.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, whose room is this? The view is going to be the same for all of you. Okay, so you're in Radovan's room. Okay, the book in your the book actually on the shelf, Radovan, is actually the Doctrines of Saint Cuthbert. It's your Bible for your church, dude.
Well, I I don't notice it right away, but when I will notice it later on, I will be taking that book. Just because.
You're going to steal a holy book.
Sure. Yes.
Well, it's your
It's
church.
better in my possession than this town's.
Being that it's your church,
I'm
it
gonna
kinda
take
makes
a
it
look
your
at the book, and I'm gonna bring it to Radovan's attention, and I'm gonna say, kind of hold it up and be like, looks like you might have more pull in this town than you think, and you don't have to use the attitude. And I'm gonna put the book down.
Right. Yeah, I mean, clearly everybody seems to have some. Everyone seems to treat you with somewhat, or not everybody. Some people seem to treat you with somewhat of a respect. Those that seem to have any knowledge of your church, whatever, anyway.
Right. Well, I say, Teresa, if we can use this for the mage, then I'm all for it. Otherwise, I don't. I mean, there's two of my fellow priests are here, and that's not our main priority right now.
Right.
So, if we can curry favor with the mage based on my religion, I will definitely be bringing it up and to his attention. Otherwise, let's just try to get this damn tattoo off of our arms.
Well, I'm just saying with the general townsfolk, flash that little belt of yours and let them see before you start trying to bully everybody.
Bully everybody? I wasn't. What are you? You were the one who went straight to the point about.
We don't
the
have
mage.
time for this, Radovan.
You bring it to my attention now. We don't have time. Wait. Whoa. Hold up.
Just sit there like this.
Let's.
What are we gonna do about this mage? What's our plan for tomorrow?
Try to find out what the hell he knows.
Do you think he'll be sick too?
I don't.
You don't think so?
No.
I hope not, or else if he's sick, then how can he
Hello? Are you in there?
take this curse off? Oh,
Look.
I'll let her in.
I stand up, walk to the door immediately, open it.
Okay, as you open the door, Sally, the ever so charming bar wench, is standing there. She's got one hand with a huge big plate on it. Carefully balanced on it is a pile of glasses. There's a precariously balanced decanter of water. There's a big carafe of whiskey sitting there. In her other hand, she's holding another huge big serving tray with all of the food as promised. She says, well, thanks for opening the door. Does anyone want to help me out here?
I quickly grab the plates of foods from her so she can, before she drops it.
Okay.
I'll help with whatever else. Grab something.
I look at my book.
Oh, you.
It's fine. I'll be off to fetch your water now. Or would you rather have that in a little bit later? Would you rather have the water a little bit later for a nice bath, or you want that now?
We'll take it in maybe an hour. Thank you. And I close the door.
Okay, you close the door. She's like, Sherry! Huh. And you hear her mumbling and muttering as she wanders down the hall. The manners of these people! Always acting like, we're so high and mighty. Can't be bothered with serving people. God damn it! And she wanders off down the street.
I
Okay.
look at the two women and just shake my head and say, and you guys are on my case for my attitude? Please.
I smirk. Whatever.
All right. I put down my book, the holy book, the awesome book, and I go to the food and the assortment of food with the intention to bless it, because I don't want it to be poisoned or anything with that malady.
Okay, so you actually want.
I mumble a thank you.
Right, you actually want to use your purify food and drink.
Yes. Purify food and drink.
All right. Okay, so he kind of brings his arms out and says his little prayer to Saint Cuthbert. Holding his arms out, raises his eyes, and does this big ceremony.
Do it.
Thank you, Saint. Thank you. Our praises to Saint Cuthbert. Please bless this food and remove it of all contamination for the nourishment of our bodies. Kind of waves his arms. Then he does this really weird little thing because it's him.
Yo, that's how the couple gets down.
Well, you know. Radovan can never do anything straight. He's always going to put little flair on everything he does. He thinks he's cool as crap. It's just, So anyway, guys, yeah, so he blessed the food. Shiggles count, everybody. There's your first
Yes!
shiggle. 1. I apologize. We would have gone too long without a shiggle. So
Yes.
I had to create one. I had to pull a shiggle out of him somehow.
Yes.
And that's how you do it, guys. That's how you make Radavan
You
crack it up.
purify food, okay? Come on.
Is that right? So there we go.
Goodwill, man. It's goodwill.
All right. So in theory, this food is now pure of any possible contamination, if you trust St. Cuthbert. Of course, Radavan, you do explicitly. So.
Oh, hell yeah. I do, yes.
So you gonna? Do you want to try the food, or are you at this point you ladies still nervous about it?
Oh, I'm digging
going
it.
for it. I'm going for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat it too. I'm hungry.
All right. So ignoring the fact that every single person in this tavern seems to be sick, trusting in St. Cuthbert's blessing.
He blessed it,
Right.
and I appreciate all gods who believe in. So.
And you chow down. The food is amazing. I mean, it's hot, it's flavorful, it's delicious.
Oh,
It's
no.
way better than the crap that you guys have been eating for the last 3 or 4 days.
Think Saint
The water is amazingly clean and pure, especially after it's now been blessed. Almost holy, you could say. And
Are
the
we drinking holy water?
Sure,
Oh.
yeah.
Wrong.
And the whiskey that she's brought up, to your refined palate, it's definitely a very good single malt. You're very happy with the meal,
Oh, yeah.
especially as you're not paying for it. The mayor is.
So we're smiling with our warm bellies.
Yep, you're all happy. Thank you.
Well,
Thank you for the
what
follow.
time is it when we finish?
It's it's late afternoon, early evening. By the time you finished eating and you're all sitting there patting your fat tums and feeling all content, once again, but this time not so subtly, it sounds like a boot kicking the door, like thump, thump, thump.
I hop up, answer the door.
And guess who it is? It's Sally. She's basically holding what looks like a huge
Sally!
wooden bucket full of steaming water. She's like, you there,
Who?
you
Me?
gonna help me or what? This thing's bloody heavy. Come on.
Well, bring it in.
Look at
Let's go.
Radovan.
Okay, she kind of waddles in. Like, you can already see, I mean, she is seriously sweating and taxing with, A, from the heat of the water, B, possibly the fact that she's also affected by this illness, and the fact that this thing is huge and clearly heavy.
I feel bad for her. I'm going to try to help her.
Alrighty, well, you kind of do you grab one side, she grabs the other as you do the awkward sidestep across the room and plonk it down in the middle with water spilling everywhere. She's like, well, I'm glad to see you're such a gentleman.
Thank you. Toodles.
Dismissed again. Wanders out the door. Okay, she slams the door behind her as you hear her stamping her way down the stairs. Okay, so you now have a huge, big, steaming bucket of hot water, which is enough to fill all 3 of your sinks. Of course, you're all shacked up in Radavan's room right now, so.
So, ladies, you're welcome to use this water first.
I roll my eyes. And
I'm gonna retrieve my own bucket and scoop out as much as I can carry and take it back to my room, and I will take the 3rd room.
Okay, there you go. So you go in the room on the furthest end. All right.
Are you leaving now? Are you out?
I'll put it in my room, and I'm gonna come back and say,
Okay.
do you guys want to get cleaned up and then repowwow, or would you like to talk now?
I kind of want to take a bath while this water's hot, so maybe after.
I agree. I think
Don't
we
get
should
too
take
much.
advantage of this hospitality.
Okay.
Well, we can.
So you're all going to take a bath and
Yes.
freshen up, wash up, stuff like that. Okay.
Yes.
Well, not a problem. You take 20 minutes or so to clean yourselves up. Rub any stains out of your clothing. Douse yourself in hot water. Get as clean as you possibly can. I mean, it's not like you have full baths in your room, but you've got large basins of hot water. It's kind of a strip wash scenario. But once you guys have done that, what are your plans for the evening?
I would like to take a quick look around my room just to see if there's anything that catches my eye. And I'm going to flip through my Bible because I've never really seen one before, I'm assuming. So
Okay. Yeah, glancing at the scriptures of St. Cuthbert. I mean, as you kind of glance through, you're getting an understanding a little bit more about what Radovan's religion is all about. It seems to be surprisingly a noble religion, very much more probably than you might expect from some of the ways sometimes he behaves. But it seems that the whole doctrine is that they believe in structure and law and order and justice. Like they punish wrongdoers, but they're very in your face about how they do it. Living, thanks for the follow. They're like, they're not your pussyfooting around type religion. You did wrong. That's how we deal with you. That's the kind of religion they are. They're in your face, dishing out the punishment. And when you're reading it, everything is full of thines and theys, and it's very kind of flamboyant and ceremonial. They seem to stand on a lot of ceremony in the book as you read it. Speaking of which, around that time, as you're glancing at this book, you can hear what sounds like a bell ringing. All hail Mr. Cudgel. That's right. The Cudgel is the nickname that's given to St. Cuthbert. But you can hear like a bell ringing as you're wandering through town, like ding, ding.
Oh, it's going to be the
ding.
meeting.
And you can hear a lot
ceremony.
of rabble coming from outside now.
I'm going to put my head outside my door.
Yeah, me too. And look at Race. Yeah.
All right. You kind of look around. You can see people like hustling down the hallways, and everybody seems to be like mass exodus out of the inn, including the innkeeper. 5032, thanks for the follow. Okay.
I'm secretly worried about
Lucifer GR,
and staying behind. I feel like she's gonna steal everything.
Well, just remember, guys. Racia isn't exact. You haven't really seen her. She's not like she's not a complete thief. I mean, yeah, she's shifty, but it's not like you've actually seen her make off with the crown jewels either, guys. So.
I've seen enough. I've seen enough to know that I don't
haven't
completely trust her. The way she snoops around bodies, and it's just, it kind of upsets me a little bit, so.
Right. So, Racia, are you going to stay in the tavern, or are you going to go outside with everybody else?
I'll probably take a look around as people are exiting, make sure, there's some gold laying around.
Okay, well, as they all hustle out, including Sally, the innkeeper, and the other servers, the last few kind of going out the doors, one thing you do notice is there's quite a few tips laying on the tables.
No, I wouldn't take that.
Okay, so you're gonna leave the wenches tips.
Absolutely, yeah. I was looking for stuff on the ground.
After what Sally's been through with Radovan, I'm not surprised. So basically, you all hustle out the door. As you do so, they're all making their way over to the ruins. You can see a glowing light, like a firelight, coming from the ruins itself.
I head that way personally, but I have my eye to the surroundings. Like,
I follow Radovan.
Right.
Okay, Racia, are you going as well, or?
In the shadows, but I'm following along, yes.
Okay, so you're kind of just trying to
take this time to go to the mayor.
I'm going to be standing actually next to Radovan this time, not behind him. Just straight next to him.
I nod at Kia. I'm like,
yeah. You go to the ruins. The crumbled walls of an old stone structure still stand in this corner of the town. It looks as though it may be the site of gatherings in the past, as you notice as soon as you arrive, the way that some of the boulders and fallen rocks have been rearranged and kind of moved around so that they can be seen to, as prominent places for people to sit. There's a large stone fireplace up against the wall, which probably once warmed the building that this was. Standing in front of it is a rather tall, armor-clad fellow wearing a full suit of chain. He's got a white tabard on with the holy symbol of St. Cuthbert on the chest, and hanging around or off of his belt, much in the same way that Radovan is carrying his, is a silver holy symbol to St. Cuthbert. There's a younger priest standing next to him. He's not wearing any armor, but he is wearing the tabard, and he has a wooden holy symbol around his neck, also to St. Cuthbert.
I say, oh look, 2 more Radovans.
He's the
It's
guy
your
that's
I
ringing the
snicker
bell.
from the shadows.
Hey, I am my own man. Don't equate me to anyone, even if they are
Right.
dressed like me.
You'll have to prove yourself. But
Oh, like I did that bandit with the morning star, and then I dangle my own morning star.
I do agree that was quite the move, but that could have been a first-time fluke.
That's it. Don't you wish your cleric was just like me? So yeah, the so the other 2 priests are there, and they seem to be masters of ceremony. As everybody gathers around, you notice that the crates of tonic are sitting next to them. The mayor is also standing over to the side. As you can see, people are like eagerly like trying to get a look at the tonic, like they've never seen it before. The mayor walks forward, noticing you guys over to the side. He says, everybody calm down, simmer down, simmer down. He said, before we have the tonic ceremony, I would like to offer my thanks to another priest of St. Cuthbert, Radovan Rhaenyra. As soon as he says that, the guy in all the armor, like with the chainmail, kind of spins around with a stern look on his face and glares at you, like he's staring straight at you.
Cool.
By the silver holy symbol, the way he's wearing it, and the type of tabard that he has, he's a fairly high-ranking member of your order. So he's kind of up there in the in the order of things when it comes to the religious doctrines of you guys. The other guy probably is not much more than an initiate like yourself. So
It's like,
he
wait,
says,
I give the man a traditional cleric salute.
What's that?
what is show us what the cleric salute is.
Did they do that? Did they do that in
Noctar! Okay, no, sorry. Wrong.
No, it's like what was that? It was that off topic, but it's that like kind of thing. It's that from that movie, right? Sorry, that was off topic.
You talking about Ferris Bueller's Day Off when? No, I'm sorry. But anyway, he introduces all of you guys. Everybody gives you a standing ovation. They're like, "Hey, bravo!" and all this kind of stuff, and you're suddenly celebrities to everybody.
I'm thinking to myself, crap, I hope none of those vials broke on the way over because we never checked.
So, after doing that, the mayor steps forward. He says, we will be distributing the tonics in the usual fashion. Each of you will approach, receive your blessing from St. Cuthbert, and your tonic, as always, women and children first. Form an orderly line. And the people start hoarding and kind of buffling themselves. At this point, you notice several of the town guards have kind of moved in from the outskirts and seem to be almost like they're waiting, to quell a possible riot or something like that. You guys are all standing there. As they approach the main priest of St. Cuthbert, he kind of blesses each one of them and then hands them a vial of tonic, which they all immediately open and swig it. They look like starving dogs. Exactly. Yeah, they as soon as they're handed their tonic, they're like opening the top and downing it like like they're dying of thirst more than anything. The mothers are quickly giving it to the children. Everybody's downing this stuff. But the orderly queue, everyone is started to bustle as people seem to be getting more and more anxious to get to the front. And you notice a couple of times the guards have to move forward and hey, settle down, all in good time. After about 45 minutes or so, everybody's kind of gone through. They've all received their tonic. Almost, strangely enough, almost instantly, as soon as people down this stuff, within minutes, it's like there's nothing wrong with them. The sweats are gone, they're full of color, they're all vibrant again, and all happy and jolly, and hooray! Good for another month.
1 month, huh?
It's some
Wow.
it's some kind of potent tonic if it can take care of things that quickly. That's for sure.
These poor guys.
Okay, after doing so, you notice that the high-ranking priest of St. Cuthbert kind of leans in and he whispers something to his initiate. If anybody would like to make a roll to see if they can overhear it with a listening check, you may do so.
Yep.
You're going to need, he's speaking very quietly, you're going to need about a 20. Because of all the noise and stuff that's going on around you, it's kind of, it's hard
I'd like to try to
overhear.
listen. Oh, sweet. Never mind.
Bane's, Racia's half-elven ears overhear it. But you guys probably want to roll as well, because she may not tell you what she hears.
Okay. Damn.
All right. And what about you, Radaban? Are you not really paying any attention, or are you going to roll?
Not paying attention. I'm just watching the symptoms
Alrighty.
disappear off the villagers.
Okay, so you're listening. Racia, you hear him whisper, "Fetch him, would you? I'd like to know more about this fellow." And he's like, "Oh, yes, sir." And immediately you notice that the neophyte is heading directly towards you, Radabam.
Oh. I cross my arms, and I just, as he approaches.
He walks straight up to you and gives you a traditional St. Cuthbert greeting.
I return it.
Okay. He says, Father Davion would like to speak with you a moment if you have time.
Well, I am kind of tired from our adventures, but I guess I can spare a few minutes.
Okay, as you say that, he kind of glances at Father Davion almost like, but then when you kind of say that, he like, breathes a sigh of relief. And she says, well, come along.
I follow.
And I'm just gonna
I'm gonna try to follow behind him, see if they.
Well, I'm gonna
say,
stay out in public.
Okay. So he leads you over. Father Davion is wearing chainmail with the tabard, as we've said. Davion is a dour-looking man in his late 40s, and his appearance of a battle-hardened veteran more than a church vicar. He's got graying black hair, thick salt and pepper beard, gives away more of his age than his physical appearance because he's like he's a masterful specimen of a man. He's like 6 foot tall. He's built strong. He's got thick tree trunk like arms, and the chainmail just like sits on him like the armor on a tank. The silver holy symbol, as I said, as you already recognize, kind of with the way that it's designed and stuff, labels him as being somebody of some rank. The other young fellow, as he gets over, he says, "Thank you, Fez. That will be all." Yes, Father. As he nods and scurries away. He looks at you and says, "So, Radovan Rainier, is it?"
That is correct, sir.
He says, "And what brings you to our village or our township of Saruman? Have you come for lessons? Have you come for doctrines in the church? Have you come to assist?"
I am a little bit more pressed for time than I would like to be. Otherwise, I would very much like to learn from you and your fine men here.
He says, "Well, we could use some extra assistance, you know."
Again, I'm pressed for time. My friends and I are in some kind of we're in a little bit of a fix of our own doing, much like this village is, this town.
Oh, yeah, he said, because here we are, a township of some 300-400 people, all suffering from some sort of crippling and possibly fatal illness, and I'm sure what you have going on is way more important than that.
Yes, actually.
He says, are you on a mission? Have you been sent by another church?
No. My mission is more life and death.
Well, you don't seem to be very forthcoming with the information, but that information is yours. He said, are you maybe possibly seeking to track down a wrongdoer, perhaps?
Well, actually, we are looking for the mage.
Oh,
And
him.
we agreed to deliver the tonics to the village for to learn where he is and to ask about him.
Well, I can
Get
tell
information.
you where he is. He's not here.
Well, then what else do we have to talk about?
Okay, he kind of raises an eyebrow at you and grumbles a little bit. You notice that the other cleric is like looking like, oh crap. He says, so you're from out of town. He says, and what church are you from? What township did you hail from originally? Where did you take doctrines? You know what? It doesn't really matter. Clearly,
because I was going to tell you something ridiculous, and
He
now
says-
I don't have to.
he says, clearly you lack some discipline. He said, you do realize, he said, I am somewhat of a, well, I should be treated with a little more respect.
I apologize.
Oh,
if
bug
I,
off! I butt in.
Oh, you're going to say that to the guy?
I hold up a hand immediately
Yeah, I really
towards
don't
Kia.
like this guy.
Okay, he kind of looks at you, and
Kia.
he says, oh, I see. Well, it's obvious why your manners are slipping. You're hanging around with these sort of people.
Listen, sir, do you actually have any rhyme or reason to ask us over here?
He says, well, it's customary. He said, seeing as I am the father and the acting priest here of a church, he said, of your order, I would have thought it would have been polite of you to come and make your presence known and announce yourself. But I also understand that you were here delivering the tonic, so I suppose I can turn a blind eye to that. Your manners, on the other hand, he says, I don't much care for.
Well, I hear that a lot, so it's nothing new to me.
Yes, he said, unfortunately, some of the younger ilk do seem to lack discipline. When I was coming through the ranks, as he kind of rolls his arms up and like bows up a little bit, because we respected our
I'd like to butt
superiors. Okay, go ahead.
I'd like to butt in, and I'd like to say to him, looks like you're not doing much around here anyway. Everybody's
Kia.
sick. What are you doing? Sitting on
Kia.
here.
He said, we administer to the sick where we can. He said, and unfortunately, because there seems to be something rather unnatural about this illness. Because all of our prayers, all of our blessings, he said, everything we have tried seems to have faltered. He said, and, well, I'm not a man to give up. He said, believe me, I'd rather be out there bringing villains to justice and righting wrongs than tending to a bunch of sick peasants and farmers. He said, unfortunately, this is where St. Cuthbert has decided to put me, so this is where my lot is. He
I
said,
will have
but-
you know that we were putting criminals to justice while we were traveling up here. It was not an easy road, and intermingled with our dire situation that I will not disclose for fear of revealing too much. That is what I am for, and while I might lack discipline, I make up for it in my resolve.
He says, yes. Well, I think you have a lot to make up for. He said, you know, he said, we have behind the church, he said, we actually have a training area. He said, maybe a few military drills should smarten you up a little bit. He said, are you interested? Do you have time?
Tonight?
Well, I don't see any other time. She's just
Roll
standing
my
here.
eyes.
You're standing here idly chit-chatting with me. The tonic has been distributed. What is that I smell? Whiskey? Are you drunk?
I snicker very visibly.
I give a sidelong glance at Kia and just like shake my head, and then look back and say, "Not drunk enough."
He says, well, you may wear the robes and garbs of a priest of the cudgel, but you certainly don't act like one. Certainly wouldn't get away under my instruction, that's for sure. I would
Well,
have
I'm
picked
not.
you out.
I'm not under your instruction. I'm under St. Cuthbert's. Thank you.
He said, yes. We'll see for how long. Well,
We will.
I don't see any point in dilly-dallying and wasting my time with you. Off you go. If you
Toodles.
if you feel the
I
urge,
turn and walk away.
okay, he kind of, as you kind of turn your back on him, he like just glares. You guys can see him like burning daggers in the back of him as he leans over to the other priest and says, "Fez, watch him." He said,
I follow Radovan, just mumbling under my breath. This guy just really irked me.
"Yeah, he's not a." As you've probably noticed by now, the priests of St. Cuthbert are not the most cordial of people. They're very stern individuals most of the time. As Radovan is. He doesn't usually...
So as they walk away, I'm going to kind of hang back a little bit and just listen and see if the priest and his cohort there say anything else as we walk away.
Yeah, basically he's saying that, as you overhear him say, he goes, "That's exactly what I'm warning you about." He says, "Turning out like that." He said, "Mark my words, boy." He said, "This is a military order, not a religious one. It's important that you understand that. Discipline." He goes, "Strict codes of conduct. That's what we need." He said, "When we allow priests to wander off so ill-prepared and ill-trained," he said, "I understand. You've been at my side for many, many years, and I know that you're eager to go out on your own. But trust me, this is the best place for you. Stay right here learning from me. There's no time for you to leave until you're ready." And you can kind of notice that Fez is like, "I know. Yes, Father, I understand. You know, may Cuthbert's wisdom continue to guide you." Okay, so you guys have wandered off. What do you want to do now?
Yeah, as we're wandering, I say to Radovan, I suddenly appreciate you a little bit more.
Yeah, he could
Thank
be
you.
a lot worse.
You know, that could have gone a lot worse. And your chiming in probably didn't do any favors, but I do appreciate what you
Please.
said. I agree with what you said.
You like what I said. You wouldn't have taken that away.
I actually really do like what you said. And, you know, I think you and I will find a way to get along that's acceptable to both of us. Now, the other one, whatever her name is, Raisa, I'm not so sure about still.
And as soon as you say that, I'm going to be like right beside you. You didn't even know I was there.
Whoa. Oh, you scared me, Raisa. I divert the subject and say, what do you guys want to do now?
Oh, where did she pop up from?
She tends to do that.
Yes, I got to be more careful with my words.
Alrighty. So by now it's it's mid to late evening.
I think sleep is in order.
Yeah, the town. I mean, you guys are dead tired after all. But the town has like really come alive. They're partying in the streets. There's minstrels running around playing all kinds of music.
Minstrels.
The market has kind of come alive and people are charging around. There's mimes running around in the street trying to imitate various different priests of St. Cuthbert. But generally, it's a totally different feel. It's like it's almost like the place went through some kind of time warp. It went from this depressive, downtrodden, sickly village to, in a matter of hours, to like this ginormous party central. They're all dancing around praising St. Cuthbert's name like he was the one that was responsible for it, and maybe he was. After all, he did bring Radovan here with the tonic.
Yeah. I don't like this, guys. Something is not right here. I'm sorry, but to go from nearly death by some unknown malady to partying in the streets just by drinking or swigging some tonic, no.
Looks like our old deaf friend knew what he was doing.
Yeah. I still think forget this. Let's all go to sleep. I mean,
you don't want to stay up and drink?
No, we need our rest.
Oh, that's surprising.
This is not natural. What's happening in this damn town? And I'm not going to be stupid for a minute for this time. I'll be stupid other times, but not now. So I'm.
Can I just point out the fact that the priest said that no matter how much praying they do, it doesn't help. And I'm immediately kind of feeling like a rumble in my stomach that makes me feel like maybe we shouldn't have eaten that food.
Ooh.
Oh, so now Racy is doubting Racy is now doubting the powers of St. Cuthbert.
Yes.
I've healed you before, Rasa. Have faith.
I hope so.
That's all I
Faith
say.
is a fickle friend.
Good night. I'm going to bed.
Good night.
Goodbye, Racia.
Alrighty. So you go into your room, close the door, get a good night's rest. What about you guys? You're all doing the same, or?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay. All right. Well, it's hard to get to sleep with the amount of noise, the sheer volume. You kind of have to close your windows, shut the shutters, just to drown out the sounds. It goes on till the early hours, but eventually
I would
it
have
does
them all
quieten
shut
down.
anyways.
Well, yeah, you're because someone like you might pop in them. So, but around 2 o'clock in the early hours of the morning, the sound finally has died down enough to where you guys can actually get some sleep. And and none too too early, to be honest. So after a while, there's nothing but the sounds of chirping crickets can be heard as you kind of all just allow your eyes to rest and you head to sleep, and the sound of the town has gone almost silent. Okay, following morning, you are surprisingly awoken by, guess what? The sound of the town. As everybody outside is bustling and chit-chatting and going about their daily routines. But you all do get a pretty good night's sleep. The beds are extremely comfortable. Radovan, when he wakes up, obviously you've got to do your prayers to St. Cuthbert.
Yep.
Kia, Liana, you're doing your...
I pray to no one.
That's right.
I would have gone.
You're just kind of focusing your abilities and...
I would have gone
getting your
downstairs
chi
and
ready.
ordered breakfast to be brought up to my cohort's rooms.
For everybody?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, sweet. What a
See how
nice
cordial
young
she is?
lady.
Y'all are so mean to her. And she's just nothing but nice to you people.
Aww.
I offer when I leave my room when the food arrives, right? And I go to Race's door and knock.
Right. Well, the first thing you notice is the server is entirely different. Instead of the buxom but not quite so pretty lass with the brown hair, Sally, that was giving you such a hard time, is a young blonde-haired girl. She's
Hello.
she is, in fact, she's probably in her very early 20s, but she is extremely pretty. As she kind of curtsies at the door, your breakfast, sir.
Thank you. Come in, please.
Creepy!
I've got to deliver these to the
Come
guest
here,
next door.
Clarice.
And she kind of like blushes bright red, but then she's like flirting, like batting her eyelids at you a little bit. As she kind of scuffles next door and knocks on Kia's door.
I poke my head out the door
I
and
open
watch.
Okay. She's kind of like watching you and then like glancing backwards and forwards at Kia. Your breakfast, ma'am. And smiling at you.
Stare at her and look over at Radovan and make a very disgusting face, like, thank you. And then I take it, close the door.
Okay, and then she moves along to Racia's door, taps on her door. Is that
I'll
breakfast?
answer. Thank her very
Breakfast, ma'am.
much.
She hands you that, and still, like, even at your door, she's really not looking or paying any attention to you. She's just like, and she's busy staring down the hallway. Okay, as she kind of
Ain't nobody got time for that.
ain't nobody got time for that. As she kind of turns and heads back, she like gets really like awkwardly close to Radovan as she goes by, and she like slows right down, flips her hair, and then like swooshes past him like with holding one side of her skirt, almost like some kind of flamboyant gesture.
Oh wait, where are you going? Hold up.
She says, "Well,
Hold up, yo." That's how I do my pickup lines, guys. All right.
Yeah,
I know
yo,
you
yo,
want to
hold
see
up.
my cudgel. Okay. I say hold up.
She stops. She says, unfortunately, she says, I'll get fired if I take too long. She said, but I'll be off at noon.
Noon, eh? Okay. What's your name?
I'm gonna come up with my plate of food to Radovan's door as he's talking, and just kind of look at him like I'm waiting for him to like do his blessing thing.
This
Bless
is
my
literally-
food, bitch.
This is literally what I do.
Yada yada yada.
Hartford, yeah.
Whatever.
Cuthbert, there we go, yeah.
Bless this food for the nourishment. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, it's good. Go.
It's
okay.
good, you're good.
She kind of looks at you. She says, my name's Cassandra, but everybody calls me Cass.
Cass, eh? Okay. Well, noon. I'll see you around, I guess.
Okay, she kind of like and flips down the stairs.
Sounds like a turtle. What the hell? All right.
Okay, so she kind of Sandra. Every step she takes, though, she's still looking back behind her to stare at the. I mean, Radovan is a pretty good-looking guy. You guys might not think so, but I mean, he's.
Let's see,
he's up
elves in
there.
him. They don't know any better. You know.
He's a pretty big, strong, huge brute of a dude. I mean, he's like 6'3" tall. His charisma's 14, so he's pretty up there. He can turn the odd eye.
Yeah, the same charisma. I'm not impressed.
Yeah, you're an equal with Jadavan, that's it. But you're an elf. He doesn't find your sharp features attractive at all.
Nope.
Okay, so she wanders off, and you guys are standing there with your breakfast.
I bless it more earnestly. My own.
Right. Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
And I actually forgot to go out and get it blessed. I already started eating.
Okay, so you've scoffed your food down. You've blessed
More
yours.
annoyed at
Racia kind of, sort of, maybe has blessed food. Who knows?
It's a little bit blessed,
It's a little bit blessed.
It's a little
Okay,
bit
guys.
blessed.
There was a little bit of magic behind the.
Yeah, that's half blessed. We're good.
Right, there you go. So, okay, you have your breakfast. As I said, it's the next day. Ashlyn Main allegedly is coming back today. Who is the reason you're here?
I think our mission should be to find him.
Okay.
Yeah.
They said he lived in a tower, so I assume if we find the tower in the village, we will probably find his location.
Yeah, let's do it. I agree. Let's find this bastard.
Okay, so what are you guys going to do? Just kind of wander the town?
Well, if
Just
it's a
looking for
tower,
it?
shouldn't we see it from wherever we are?
I mean, if you're actually going to look at all the buildings and try to peruse and see if you can see anything that stands out, it's not hard to see. Yes,
I'm guessing it's in the
it's-
northeast corner.
that's the one.
That's
Yeah.
a big freaking tower. Yeah.
Just bear in mind, of course, your characters don't actually have this map in their hands, right? This is a visual
Yeah.
representation.
Oh.
Yeah, but from
We'll
where
walk
we
out of
are,
the front.
But from
It's
where you
different
guys are,
state.
once you're out
We
in the
should be able
open,
to see it.
yeah, like from here, anywhere around, a fairly open area, as long as you don't have a building directly blocking your view, it's not hard to see in the distance.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, the impressive tower structure looks almost out of place. Its polished sandstone walls are clearly newer than any stone construction here in the town, much newer than any of the other buildings. It has an ornate and elaborately carved door indicating someone of probable wealth or status may live here. But of course, you guys already know that this is where Ashlyn Main, the quote-unquote wizard, is supposed to live.
Right.
Suppose we should knock on the door.
Radovan, would you like
Hey.
to do the honors?
Nope. This is a wizard. You look the part. I'm gonna stand by this adjacent building. And
All right,
observe.
I step up and
Okay, you're gonna bang on the door.
Knock.
It's got like one of those big gargoyle-type brass knockers that you're like. You do so. A couple of minutes pass, no answer whatsoever.
he must not be back yet. I turn.
Well, I mean,
and
it
say,
is still very early. He didn't say what time he'd be back.
What should we do?
I'm gonna go to south along this road. I imagine it looks like I'm gonna go toward the crossroads. That's another gate. Is it, or can I
Yes.
not see it?
Well, basically, as you wander down there, you'll see you'll see people coming in and out through the wall, so you'll know that there's a gate down there. Yeah, there's obviously an entrance and exit.
I'm gonna talk to the guard at the gate, or one of the guards at the gate.
Okay. So you're going to do that. Kia, what do you want to do? You going to go with him, or you want
No, I'm gonna just sit down on the steps of this tower and just wait for a little
to?
bit.
Okay, alrighty. And what about you, Racia?
Same thing. I'm staying with Kia.
Okay, so you two are
I'm
going to
gonna
sit
let
there.
Cal out to explore the town
Okay.
and just
Meow.
keep a tab on how Cal's feeling once in a while.
Okay. Cal seems fine. I mean, he's not deterred. You know, he doesn't seem to have any ill feelings about the town or anything that's been going on. Being that it is a busy town, I mean, there's plenty of mice for him to chase and things like that. So if you let him out, you know, he's a young cat. He goes off and does his cat-like entertaining things, chases the odd mouse, you know, licks himself inappropriately, stuff like that.
Okay.
So Radaban, you go down to the southern gate. Once you get there, much like the first gate where you came in, there's 4 guards. It seems a lot more busy as people are coming and going, and they're harassing everybody, like, but not in a meaningful way. It's just you know, what are you bringing into the town? Oh, okay, you're bringing in, you know, you're bringing in grain. That's fine. In you go. In you go. You know, anybody that just answers them plainly, they don't really give them any hard time. So once you get down there, you want to talk to these guys, huh? What do you want to say?
Yeah. Hail there, friend.
He says,
I say to the nearest one.
right. He kind of looks at you and says, "Yes. Oh, excuse me, Father. What can I do for you?"
The mage. I'm pretty sure he's not back yet, but I heard he was going to return today.
The mage. Oh, the wizard.
Yeah, the wizard, mage, whatever.
Yeah, Ashlyn
All
Main.
the same to me.
Yes.
Yes.
Is he? I don't know. I didn't know that he left.
No. So he doesn't leave via your gate?
Well, sometimes he does. But you know, it shifts. We don't stand here all day, every day, 24/7. You know.
Well, when he does leave, which way does he usually go?
Depends where
I
he's
want
going.
to
I
know
suppose.
which way to expect him from. That's when I'm going. That's when
Honestly, I couldn't tell you. Sometimes he goes out this gate. Sometimes he doesn't.
Does any of the other 3 people here, 3 guards, know?
Ask him. I don't know.
So I go to.
Any of you here when Ashlyn Main left? Right, one guard says, I was. He said, left yesterday morning, said he'd be back sometime today.
From this gate or from the north?
Yeah,
one?
no, yeah, he goes, he came this way.
What's out there?
He said, well, if you go, he goes, if you head this way, he said it heads out across heads out towards the Great Lakes and stuff like that. He said, but I don't know what wizards get up to. He said, but he rode out of here on his horse early yesterday morning. When he's gone, he usually only gone a day or 2. He never usually stays away long.
So there's nothing. Is there anything of note out there except just lakes and stuff? Like any buildings or establishments?
He said there's villages, towns. He goes, of course, depends on how far you go.
Hmm.
He said, but as long as he's gone, he might just make it. He said on a horseback, might make it to the closest village and back in a day, but that's about it.
I'm gonna do knowledge check
For
the local knowledge check. Yeah. I want to see if I'm aware of any like importance out there, like why he would be gone, just by my own personal knowledge. So would it be a local or a geography?
No, it would be local knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a local knowledge check.
All righty.
See if I know
Go
anything.
right ahead, and let me just change it to this screen here. All right, go right ahead.
Okay.
All right, it's at 15.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, if he stays on the main road, there's really no major towns or establishments for at least 3 days on the cart, which would be about a full day on horseback. And the closest, it's like there's a small farming community called Dam Mills from here. He would have had to have gone, if he went to the lakes, he'd have had to have gone northeast. But that would have not gone across any major roads or whatever. He'd have kind of had to have gone across open ground. But there's an awful lot of open territory out there. Who the hell knows where he may have gone or what he might have gone up to.
Okay.
But I mean, there's nothing of any real importance that comes to mind for you.
Okay. I thank the guards and return back to the tower to Reza and Kia.
Okay.
And shrug and say, nothing. Got nothing.
Cassandra. Ranavan loves Cassandra. Okay, so you go back to them. They're still waiting patiently on the steps,
Yep.
like some kind of disciples waiting for their master to come back.
Oh gosh.
Oh.
He's back! Yay!
Okay. So yeah,
I
how long?
stand up and I say, "What? Find anything? Talk to anybody?"
I was just trying to ascertain where this mage leads down from. I got nothing. Nothing.
Mm.
And I sigh and look
Figures.
longingly at the tavern. Down the road.
Oh,
Alrighty.
are you serious?
He want.
I know what you're thinking.
It's Radovan is thinking of the bottle again, isn't he? Yes.
I don't think he's thinking a little bit more than that this time.
Yeah, he's looking up at the sun, trying to figure out, is it noon yet? How long do you guys want to wait here on the steps?
He's our only reason for being in town.
Realistically, yeah.
So
And I definitely don't want to run into those other two priests. 'Cause I hated them.
You didn't like
So
them.
I don't really want to wander.
Okay, so you guys are going to pretty
I'm
much
very
stay
content.
here. You're going to kind of hang around here hoping that he shows up soon. Radovan?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I mean,
Well, about a couple of hours later...
It's a big patty cake.
Patty cake. There you go. Pass the time. Right, a couple of hours later, you hear someone bellowing from above you. Like,
Nope.
it's actually coming from upstairs of the tower.
What?
You hear, "What pray
I look-
brings an elf, a half-blood, and a priest to the priest of the cudgel to my door?"
I immediately stand up.
Okay.
Are you in there?
And you can see basically a guy is kind of staring down at you. He's probably in his mid to late 40s. He's clean shaven, but he's got kind of graying brown hair. And he's just kind of leaning out, glaring down at you from the top of the tower.
I would like to say, sir, we seek your knowledge.
And he says, "Yeah, you and everybody else in this town."
This is important, sir.
Lord of the Rings
Hi.
time. It says, "It's always important." It says,
What's the name of the blind or the deaf guy again?
does any of you remember?
I don't remember, man. I just shake my head and look again at the tavern.
Rudiment,
Leave it to you guys.
right?
Who?
Yeah, Rudiment.
Farfin Schmuglin, I don't know.
Rudiment
says-
sent us, I yell out, hoping that's the right name.
Rudiman? He said, "I've got no clue who that is."
Dang it.
He said, "Still." He said, "It's not very often that I see elves here." He said, "Especially not in the presence of a priest of St. Cuthbert." Hold on a moment.
Circumstances, man. Extenuating circumstances.
Okay, he goes back inside the building, shuts the window, and you hear a loud clunk and like what sounds like cogs going clink, 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 and then a heavy device or something locking in place. Like the door at that point opens by itself. Inside, it's like a very well lit and ornate tower, and there seems to be like a cage suspended from a giant chain that's hanging from the ceiling. And the gate is open. From the very top, you hear him yelling, "Well, don't stand there. Come in."
I
This
walk
time
in
I'm going to be
mostly
the first
looking
one
up.
through the door.
Okay.
Nice. Do it.
I'm the last this time. You kidding me?
So
I don't
basically-
like
I
this.
guess I'm in the middle.
I
It looks like
immediately
he's-
don't like this. With
He's
the
beckoning
locks.
you to come into the cage. He's like, "Well, get in there then." He said, "Unless you feel like climbing this rope to the or climbing this chain to the top of the tower."
Ooh. It's a strange device, sir.
He said, "Yes, I call it an inlifter. I invented it. You climb inside," he said, "I crank the cogs and it inlifts you to the top of my tower."
Why
Quite
don't you do
ingenious,
it
really.
first?
Because I'm up the top. Why do I want to come up to the top of the tower when I'm already at the top floor?
Oh.
Are you really here to waste my time?
Racia?
I'm
Why don't you
going
go ahead and go first.
How big?
I just
how
don't
big
want to
is
go
this?
first.
Can it hold all three of us at once, or are we gonna have to go one?
Oh
at
no,
a-
this thing is big. I mean, you could fit 4 or 5 people in here.
Oh, to
And
hell
it's
with
just
this.
like a
Can I
like
do
jail,
a
jail
sense
bar?
motive check?
You can, but you're going to need probably at least a 22 or 23. It's hard to sense someone's motive when all you're hearing is him
I'm
yelling
gonna
at you.
go for it anyway, you know. I got a
All
pretty
right.
high one.
Go ahead, sense motive. See if you can sense if there's anything agenda behind this guy.
Dang.
It's just too hard. I mean, he's towering multiple floors above you, just echoing instructions down to you. You sense that he's getting pretty impatient.
So
Oh,
it's a floor with open sides, like jail bars.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to grab onto the outside and stick my feet on the inside and hang on.
Okay.
nice. I'm
All right,
gonna just
I
suck
just
my breath in
entered.
and walk right in. Since Racy is on the outside, she'll save me.
Okay.
Yep, I follow Kia in.
Right. As soon as you do that,
You're very
once you're
smart.
in there, the gate of the gate of the cage slides down, not particularly fast. So if any of you decide you want to leap out at the last minute, you have time. Kind of clink, 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 and it drops. Okay. At that point, it kind of goes, and it kind of lifts, and it's going up in like jerks, like, and each time you kind of go up a little further. It like drops down like about half a foot and then goes up 3 foot. Then drops like half a foot and goes up 3 foot. Like someone's up there cranking some kind of lever. Okay, as you're going up, you notice, Racia, you're aware that you're coming to the end of this first floor, and it looks like this chain-pulled cage pretty much fits rather snugly through the square hole.
Oh no.
Doesn't look like it leaves a lot of room for you to be hanging on the side. Like, here's the floor, and as the cage kind of comes up, you're going to kind of get brushed off and pushed down to the bottom. So you really
Climb on top.
You can either scramble on top, swing yourself underneath and hang on like this, or you can try to lift up the gate and punch through. Jason Lee, thank you for the follow, my friend.
Can I just like move over?
There's not room.
Or two, or
There's
to the other side?
It's like if you could imagine like a square hole in the ceiling, and this cage like fits directly through it, nice and neat and tight. So like
Just
there's
think
no
of what
room for
Radavan
you.
wants to do.
There's no room for you to cling
okay.
to the side. So you've
What?
either got to get under it, on top of it, or in it, or it's going to just kind of brush you off as you get pulled up through the ceiling.
Yo, that was messed up. But
What do you want to do?
That was very messed up. It's a good visual for her.
It was
Okay,
good,
you have very little time to decide because the ceiling is coming extremely fast.
Okay, I would like to... And I can't just jump or swing to the floor.
You could let go, and it's only about a 10-foot drop.
No, I mean like as the floor is coming up. Like
No,
can
well,
I like jump?
not
before-
unless you were. No, you'd have to be on top of the cage to do that.
Okay. Let's jump on top then.
All right, so you want make a climb check, and see how quickly you can scrabble yourself up there.
We don't want Racia to get sliced in half.
Well, I mean, she can let go and just drop to the
I
floor.
know.
It's not going to kill her, but it'll be
Nice and
awkward.
graphic.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
You're scrabbling. You're
boy.
scrabbling to try to get on the top. As you do so, you're suddenly aware, like half your body is up, and you realize if you keep trying, the ceiling is going to like cut you in half. So you have to like slide down the bars. So at this point, you can either try to swing underneath it, or you can drop down.
Swing underneath.
Okay. Alrighty. In that case, then make a straight dexterity check for me.
A what?
Straight dexterity. So you're going to make your dex check. So it'd be d20 plus 3 in your case.
D20 plus 3 and what?
In your case. Because you're at plus 3. So d20 plus 3 for you. For your
Yeah,
dex
no, I'm
check.
dropping to the floor.
Okay. So
Oh,
you're basically
gosh.
letting go.
One.
In that case, go ahead and make a tumble check to see if you land without injuring yourself from a 10-foot drop onto concrete floor. And it won't be too difficult. There you go. Right, you basically drop to the floor and kind of roll and tumble. And you watch as you're aware and you kind of see this thing disappear up through the holes in the ceiling. and it kind of keeps going up and up and up and up.
Well, we lost Ratio.
After probably about 60 or so seconds, eventually it comes to you kind of appear through the final level, and you appear in a circular room with this strange guy looking at you with one hand on this weird-looking lever. And he says, "What happened to your friend?"
She got cocky.
I'm a little tongue-tied
Can
right
you
now.
put it back
so-
down?
He
Yeah.
says, "Yes, it's not the first time that someone's distrusted my contraption." He says, "Well, come out."
Well, you could put some like plants or something around here. Maybe some flowers.
Plants.
Look a little more welcoming.
Spruce the thing up a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, it
He
looks
said-
like a jail.
I
I don't
walk
blame
out.
her. I walk out too.
Okay. As soon as you do that, he just like pulls the lever, and you hear like clank, 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 and Racia, you can see this thing crashing back down towards you.
I will not
Obviously,
be under it.
obviously, you're not going to be standing underneath it. It comes
No.
grinding to the bottom again, and the gate lifts up, and he goes, "Are you coming?"
Yes, sir.
Alrighty. So you get inside. Basically, it takes you to the top of the tower. Once you're at the top, as you come through, the fellow is standing there in his elaborate aqua green robes. You notice that they
Oh,
match
wow.
his eyes perfectly. There's arcane paraphernalia all over the place. There's like a mummified corpse on a rack on the far side of the room. There's papers, weird-looking stuff all over the place.
Kind of in heaven by all the arcaneness around me.
Right. It's definitely
Ooh.
some kind of, it's the sort of thing you'd expect to find from somebody with arcane studies. Obviously, Kia, this is all somewhat new to you because all of your power comes from within you. You haven't had to spend years
Yes.
studying books and learning. So once you're there, he says, "Okay, so apparently you're wanting to pester me with some problem. Would you like to go ahead and tell me what it is?"
Yes, Ashlyn. I kind of step forward a bit and I say, I heard you know about curses.
Curses. Some of them. I've been known to place some. I've been known to remove some. Are you wanting me to curse somebody, or are you wanting me to cure somebody of a curse?
Cure. We have a marking, and none of us remember how we got it, and we were hoping you'd be able to help us.
Oh, I see. So you want me to take a look at this marking? Is that it?
Yes.
Well, let's see it. I haven't got all day.
I look at Radovan, like to make sure he's okay with showing his marking.
I nod and
I look at Racia.
Okay, so Race is already pulling her sleeve up and showing her strange mark. Okay, Radovan. So all of
Right,
you
so we're
basically
all-
display this. He kind of looks at you all with a squinty eye and, interesting. And you say you don't remember how you got this.
Nope, all three of us woke up in the same place. We didn't come from the same town, but we were all taken and brought here, and none of us remember how we got it.
Very interesting. And you think it's a curse? Is that what you're saying?
That's all I can think. It's definitely magical. Has magical properties about it.
Oh, it does. He said, and you know this how?
listen. I step forward. This chick, she blew up. All right. She had this
blew up.
market. She was drunk. It's not the drinking that was the problem. We watched her explode from the inside out, all stemming from this damn thing.
He said, very interesting. And she had this mark as well, did she?
Yes, she did.
Yes, it definitely all stemmed from the mark. The mark turned blue. The blue went up her veins. She exploded, and then the blue turned red back to blood.
He says, well then, I suppose you want me to try and see if I can remove this mark. Is that why you're here? Or
Of
just,
course.
or do you want to keep it and you just want me to tell you what it is?
Well, both.
Does it look like we want to keep this?
He said, and I'm supposed to do this out of the kindness of my heart. Is that it? Look, you know what? He said, I'm curious enough at this point. He said, may I have a volunteer?
I'll step forward.
Okay. He kind of grabs hold of your hand and like pulls your arm stretched. He goes, now, don't move. This won't hurt. Okay. As Ashlyn holds his hands out and begins to chant a few words in his arcane tongue, the tattoo begins to glow a faint blue.
My eyes widen.
I step back.
Okay. He seems in deep thought and concentration as he passes his hands over your arm. The marks begin to grow stronger, and you begin to feel some kind of strange tingling in your arm. Then the tingling begins to move into your chest, down your legs, across into your other hand, and starts to drift up your neck. At this point, there's now some discomfort in your forearm, which is rather quickly replaced by some moderate pain.
Is this supposed to be hurting?
Okay, he seems to have been lost in like his concentration. The pain then also begins to radiate throughout your body as the glow begins to get more and more intense.
Kia!
Suddenly, Ashlyn Main pulls back suddenly and opens his arms, or opens his eyes, and the pain and the tingling immediately stops.
Okay.
And he kind of looks at you, and then he kind of glances at the marking again, like grabbing your arm and like pulling it right to him to get a much better look. And then he looks at all three of you and says, "Now, isn't that interesting?"
What?
What just happens?
He said, "I can indeed shed some light on your predicament." He said, "But as I said before, I'm supposed to do this out of the kindness of my heart."
Yeah, well, what do you want? Gold? Food?
He said, "I have no need for gold or food. But my arcane art and the information that I've just attained do come at a price. I believe I may have found a possible cure for the malady that affects Saruman. But to do this, I need the seeds from a very rare plant, almost a mystical plant, in fact. The plant is known by some as the six-finger plant. By others, it's known as Hexabalm.
Hexabalm.
Raisa, you have actually, with your, even though you have basic herbalist knowledge, you've heard of it.
Can you spell that for me?
Hexabalm, Hexembalm, also known as the six-finger plant. He says, it's said to bloom, blossom, and die all within 12 hours. And it does this situated around the height of a full moon.
No.
It's extremely hard to find and almost impossible to harvest.
Of course.
Whoa. Okay. How do we know you even gleaned anything from this? I imagine you now want us to go on this wild goose chase for this mystical herb, and then you tell us some information, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
How do you even know that you can heal us?
No. Look, I'm going to need something up front to even consider going out there.
He says, look, trust me. He said, first of all, do these marks naturally glow? Have you seen them glow before when you're just walking around? No. He said, I've scribed some information. He said, but I don't do things for free. He said, I don't do anything for anybody for free. He said, especially not right now, when I believe that you are not only in a position to help yourselves, but in a position to help the whole of Saruman. But I don't know any of you. You're strangers. He said, I could tell you this information and you're gone. What do you care about Saruman? No. Trust me. If what you said is true, and after finding out what I've just found out, I believe it is, your lives are in danger. Now,
if you care so much at Saruman, how hard have you tried finding this plant?
He said, believe me, I have looked. The problem
And why
is,
do you think we will fare better than you?
he says, honestly, I don't know that you will. I'm hoping that maybe you know more about this plant than I do. After all, you are worldly traveled, or allegedly. He said, I know for a fact that this girl here, because I'm a mere 49 years old. Yet this elf has probably lived over 100 years. To her people, this may be something much more common.
Okay, okay. Listen, you don't know me. And up until a few days ago, I didn't know these two chicks, right? I will tell you this. There is a very nice and lovely lady in the tavern. Her name is Cassandra. I met her today. I do not want her to get sick and die. I also do not want to get sick and die. I definitely don't want to be in these two people's company anymore. Because, look at their ears, look at their disposition. So, how about you give me a little bit of information? We'll be a little diplomatic, right? We'll have some diplomacy. And then maybe I'll consider doing this for you.
He says, okay. He said, it's really this simple. You came to me asking me to help you. If you don't want my help, that's fine. I'll find somebody else to go and find this plant. He said,
I'm just asking for a little bit of information.
He said, like what? That
like what you just found out about this weird tattoo.
I'll tell you this, that if you don't get it removed, your fate is going to be the same as the other person's, and much sooner than you think.
How soon?
I put my hand on Radovan's shoulder, just try and stop him.
Oh, I'm so ready to punch this.
He says, exactly how long, honestly, I don't know.
So I'm going to kind of interject and say, so tell me more about this plant.
He says, well, as I've already said, it apparently blooms, blossoms, and dies within 12 hours, which makes it difficult to find in the first place. Apparently, you also have to know the correct way to harvest it, which I don't know much about herbalism. He said, I don't dabble with herbs. I don't mess with herbs. He said, that's not my forte. He said, I do know that we have a full moon in 6 days. And if you can find and bring me the seeds from this plant, I will not only cure this town, but I will tell you whatever you want to know that I have found out about this mark. He said, look at it this way. You help yourselves. You help save an entire town. He said, you claim to have an interest in this Cassandra girl. He said, did anybody tell you that the tonic is starting to last less and less and less time? The first time that people took the tonic, it lasted for months. Then less and less. He said the last time that they took the tonic, he said, was 3 weeks ago. He said, the tonic is becoming less effective. It's only a matter of time before the tonic isn't going to work anymore.
Have you spoken to the locals about these seeds or anybody in town?
He says, no, I haven't.
Do you guys have a local herbalist?
No, we do not. The closest herbalist is about 1 or 2 days' ride south of here, and he's old and sick.
Can you point us into any kind of direction? Like, do you have any clue where we can start looking?
I honestly don't.
Do I know anything about this herb? Have I ever heard of it? Do I know how to harvest it?
You do remember hearing about it years and years ago. Mostly it's kind of a rumor about this plant, nothing solid, like does it really even exist? But it is said to only grow on rocky ground, and some say that only where blood has been spilled. It's some kind of weird...
Oh, jeez.
And how many seeds does he need?
3.
So we have to find 3 different plants, or just one plant, 3 seeds?
One plant should easily give you the 3 seeds you need.
Look at Radovan and Racia trying to say, can we talk about this alone before we say yes to this guy?
He says,
Where?
by all means, take your time. I mean, after all, you know, it's just your lives at stake.
What, by the corpse? You want to go by the corpse and talk?
Let's go by the freaking corpse.
I'm just gonna ask the Ashlyn if he's infected with the disease, with the...
He says, I would be.
And why aren't you?
What?
He says, because I use most of my ability to cast a spell on myself every day to fend it off. He said, I am infected. He said, I'm just able to resist, resist the side effects or the symptoms. He said, but of course, if I'm the one laying around sick, who else is going to go out and do the research and has spent the last 6 months trying to find how to help these people?
Mm-hmm.
He said, I'm not here to make them feel better. I'm not here to improve their mood. He said, I've been working my ass off for 6 solid months trying to find a cure for this thing, and I finally think I've done it. The sad part is, I'm not in a position to go wandering looking for this damn thing.
I'm gonna kind of like step in front of the group now and like speak to Ashlyn a little more earnestly. And I'm going to speak like almost as you would to a friend, not a stranger.
Okay.
And I'm going to say to him, I think that I can find this plant. And I want to help your town as well as helping myself.
He
So
said, I personally believe in helping myself. He said, I don't have a problem helping others. He said, so I understand where you come from. He said, if it wasn't for the fact that I lived here and I've made my home here for the last 8 years, I probably wouldn't care about these people either. But the fact of the matter is, I don't feel like moving. I don't like the fact that me trying to get anybody to come here to talk to trade with, is becoming more and more impossible. Once people come here, they find out what's going on. People don't come back. He said, I would love to just have this place cured, not because I care, but because it would be more convenient for me.
And then I'm going to ask him to share with me the locations he's already checked, where he thinks would be the proper, because he knows the lay of the land. I'm going to share with him the information that I know about it only apparently growing on rough ground if he didn't already know that. And I'm just going to have a conversation with him, like a good,
Gotcha.
trying to gather as much information that I can, like a teamwork, tell us where you've gone so we don't go over the same places. Like, time is of the essence.
Okay.
I'm inching towards Risa because I think I'm starting to consider doing this as well.
Okay.
Consider.
He says that he only found out the information I gained yesterday was what led me to understand that I needed this plant. So I haven't looked anywhere. He said, I went yesterday, I talked to a colleague that refused to come to town. I had to meet him an entire day's ride so that he didn't come here and risk getting infected. We had a discussion. He told me about that this is the missing piece to this puzzle. And here I am. You know as much as I do right now. He said, I've got everything else taken care of. He said, I know the incantation. I know the ritual. He said, I have all the ingredients but this one. I haven't got a clue where this thing grows. He said, I know nothing about this plant.
I'm going to ask him about the lay of the land and where there's rough ground where blood has been spilled.
Radovan, you could also, if you want, you could make a local. You could make a history roll. Because I mean, if you're hearing this conversation.
Yeah, I know, and I guess I will because.
I mean, you either know or you don't. You don't have to stop
right.
and go. Let me think. Do I? Yeah. So go ahead and make a history check. Local history and see what you know.
I have local as well. Can I do that?
Yeah, of course you can. Anyone would. Oh, nice. Look at the man. Okay.
I'm by the corpse, and I overheard them, so I'm shouting this across the way
right.
because I am not happy with the situation.
Okay, Radovan, yes, you do know some things that might. First of all, knowing the area, you heard earlier that this was a fortress at one point that was there during the Orc Wars. And west of here, not far from the main road, is an area called the Field of Sorrow, where a huge battle took place. On the other side of the Field of Sorrow is the Grey Spire Mountains, where the orcs were. So there's a very good chance that if there's mountains there and there was a huge battle, quite possibly there's an area there where blood was spilt, and there's plenty of rocky terrain. And it is about 5 days from here. 5 days travel, which means you could actually get there, and amazingly,
Right
the very
before
next day
the-
would be full moon. So you could possibly do that. If this plant even exists. Because Racia, you're not convinced it does. It's like one of them old wives' tales. You know, you've never seen it. You've never actually heard anybody use it or employ it. But, you know.
Suddenly my senses kick in, and I say, I'm gonna do it. I decided.
For a cast,
I would like
will
to help
save
this
them
town.
all. Alrighty, okay, cool. He says, so you're interested then? He said, I'm
Yes, I went to
sure
Racia.
I'm sure that this has nothing to do with you helping the town. I get that feeling from you that you're here in it for yourselves. He said, trust me, I can help you. To some degree. He said, I will tell you this so that there's no misconceptions. I can't remove it. It's not that simple. But I can tell you what you need to know to get it removed. And I can tell you what effects it will have on you and some things that maybe you can do to offset the thing.
It's good enough for me.
Let's do it. Whatever.
He said, I just want to make sure that no one thinks that you're going to come back here and I'm going to wave a hand and the marks and the tattoos are going to magically disappear and everyone's happy. He said, so I'll tell you what I know and it will be something you need. He said, also, I'll throw this in. Should you manage to find any additional seeds, I will pay you 50 gold crowns for each seed above the first 3 that you can bring me.
I bet Radovan's a little bit more interested.
I look at the dead corpse, trying to figure out what the hell it's doing there and what it's used for.
Well, basically, the corpse is like opened up; it's pinned, so it's like it's showing
It's like an
you.
anatomy thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's an anatomy thing, exactly. Except it's like putrefied.
Well, then I return to the group and I shrug and say, "Your call, ladies."
Well, you already know what I said. I'm
Yep.
doing it, without you or not.
With or without me.
Yes.
So if I stayed in this town, you'd still do it, and
And I would not tell you any of the information.
Ooh.
That would be your loss.
I see. Okay. Well,
So in a way,
I guess you're
still
stuck with me
kinda need
then.
you.
Yeah, you're stuck with me then.
Okay.
I'm going to tell them that I would like to have a chat with them before we leave in our endeavor.
Alrighty.
Okay, sure. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
go back to the corpse. I mean, that's what I was waiting for.
I would like to be out of the tower.
Corpse height.
You want out of the tower? I don't
Out
blame
of the
you.
tower? Okay.
Oh.
Get back in the little contraption.
Goodbye, Ashlyn.
He says, "Well, hopefully, I'll see you in a week or so."
I grunt.
Have
I'm
fun
going to
sitting in your
look at him.
tower as we search for a magical plant.
I'm going to look at him in all earnesty and thank him.
Okay. He says, "Well, I'm hoping that I can assist you. In fact, I know I can to some degree." He said, "I honestly wish I could remove it." He said, "I'll give you guys this piece of information for free. Whoever put this here is a far more powerful wizard than I am. A far more powerful wizard than I know." He said, there are so many different incantations and magics that work here. I would almost have to believe that this was the work of some kind of team of wizards.
Wow. Who heard this? The Just Racia?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, did we all hear it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So, okay, so and he basically he bids you good day. He says, "Okay, I'll see you as soon as you can. Good luck on your endeavor. I hope you don't die."
And off we go.
And you head
Thanks,
out the
hope
town.
you don't
Okay.
die in your old age as well.
So you're back outside his tower, basically, at this point.
What time of day is it?
It is mid-afternoon.
Oh man.
Did you miss it?
Frickin' mages.
So I would
They
like
talk,
to chat
they
with you
talk.
guys.
What's
Should
up,
we maybe
Ursa?
get some lunch and chat?
Sure.
I bet. Yeah. Let's go to the tavern.
Okay. Also,
Have
you
chit-chat.
guys might want to consider that if this thing is like 6 days travel from here, or 5 or 6 days, do you really think? Sherman, thanks for the follow, man. Do you actually think you guys want to hoof it, or do you want to maybe talk about reacquiring that horse and carts?
Well, I want to talk to them in the end.
That's what we do. We're gonna have a talk. Let's have a
Okay.
talk.
So you head to the inn. Do you want? Are you like wanting a secret squirrel talk up in your rooms?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes.
You want food brought up?
Room talk.
Probably.
Well, there's good news and bad news, guys. The good news is that once you get there, the special today is like yesterday you had the roast boar. Today they've basically slaughtered an entire cow, and they've got ginormous, like 24-ounce thick, juicy steaks that they're serving
Yeah,
up.
now we're talking.
You know, so the food is excellent. The bad news, however, Cass is off for the day, and guess who's filling her slot?
Oh no!
Sandy!
Yay!
Crazy Techno 101. Thanks for the follow.
I visibly snickers.
Oh, you're still here, are you?
Hey, where's Cass? Where does she live in this village?
She gets off at noon. Oh, like I tell you, you bloody pervert.
Yeah.
You're old enough to be a father, you nonce. Go on, off with you.
Off with you. Off with me. Off with you. Get out of here.
You know, well, that's fine. Why don't you serve your damn self, you annoying, obnoxious wretch from out of town?
Yeah,
I'm sick and tired of your sort.
When we save your ass, we'll wait and see what happens. All right? Because we're gonna save your ass.
He says, oh, got arses on the brain, have you? Obsessed with Cassandra. Next thing you'll be talking about wanting me to serve you up some nice breasts of chicken or something like that. Oh, no, your silly innuendos doesn't flatter me, sir. Walking around with your armour looking all posh and big
Like
and
a steak,
muscly.
please. I interject.
Says, oh, yes, madam, no problem at all. Steak, I'll give you, steak you. She kind of wanders off, cursing Radovan under her breath.
I curse her back in kind and under my breath,
Guys,
and then
guys,
Then I bless the food and do the blessing.
There you
guys,
go.
we need to make some decisions very quickly.
Okay.
Here's my
Sure.
take on this.
What are you thinking, Rachel?
This seed that he speaks of, I've heard of it once before, but it's one of those things that you hear of and it's like an old wives' tale. Nobody knows for sure if it exists. I don't know if we can make it in time for what he says, but something I want to consider with you guys. Do we need to do this? He said he was a young wizard. He's only 49. Practicing the magical arts. We could probably find another wizard who knows just as much as he does. Is it worth wasting the time to find these seeds that I don't even know exist? Or should we just move along and see if we can find a new wizard?
Need to consider what you're saying here. Where can we find better wizard? We don't know if we're gonna find any wizard out there.
Or
It might
wizard?
take longer to find a wizard than to find these magical seeds. Radovan?
I don't know what to think. I don't trust the magical types anyway. It's not magic from Cuthbert, you know. But if we're just gonna wander this world looking for a better wizard, you know, we don't even know how long that lady had the tattoo and died.
It feels like less of a plan than just like having seeds to find feels more concrete than trying to find
Yeah,
Seeds
any
that
other
don't
wizard that's older than 49.
You guys, I study herbology, and I have never met anybody who's actually held and or seen these seeds.
I mean, you don't know that they don't exist,
No, we don't.
but it's just, again, it's like one of those, you know, I just know that you've heard about them, you've heard people discuss it, but it's kind of like a far-fetched tale. A plant that grows, basically blooms and dies in 12 hours, and it only grows on rocks, and it only grows where everything contradicts the natural order of things. But he also did tell you that he believes that it is a mystical plant of sorts.
What if we head to the location, keeping our eye out for other options? So at least we're going in the general direction, and apparently we need to make haste, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Make haste! Yes.
at the same time, if we see a wizard, or if we run into that weirdo on the hill that almost, birded us to death, we can pursue the other options, like as they are presented.
Well, then I say we go to the mayor and ask him for horses, provisions, and anything else that we think we might need, and we head out.
I like that idea.
Alrighty.
I do.
All right, that's what we do then.
You agree?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. Okay, guys. Well, that brings us pretty much to the end of our session today. Hi, I'm Gorbad, the Dungeon Master on How Reroll. If you'd like to follow my personal channel, it's twitch.tv/Gorbad, or on my other social media, @Gorbad for Twitter, or @GorbadTV for YouTube.
Hi guys, I'm Bane. You want to hang out with me some more? You can find me on twitch.tv/Bane1271, Twitter @Bane1271, or Facebook and YouTube under Bane Blackstar. See you guys soon.
Hello, my name is Shagget, and I play Radovan Rainier, a cleric on How Reroll. You can follow me on www.twitch.tv/Shagget.
Hey, I'm Jane. You can follow me on my personal channel at twitch.tv/JaneIvana, or if you'd like, on my Twitter @JaneOnTwitch with a 0, not an O. Peace.